Hello and welcome everyone to Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice Edition. Ignore the trilogy part. We are back. Last time we wrapped up case. Yeah, we wrapped up case 4, right? No, we did that. We did it last time. We wrapped up the first trial of case 5. Right, it felt like a complete episode to itself, but no, we're still going on episode 5. Yeah, last time we proved that the orb was in fact the Founder's Orb, that there was murder to obtain it, and what's really going on behind the scenes. And now we're setting the stage for the final trial of the game, it seems like. We've, let's see, Mr. Inga, the man who is quite clearly evil, but maybe cares about his daughter, was murdered. And presumably by Dirk, although we don't exactly know how, because Dirk doesn't seem to remember, conveniently. Maya was there, but she doesn't remember either. Well, she's out. She doesn't get to talk right now. She'll probably enlighten us later on what exactly happened when it's more convenient for the plot, but right now we're kind of in the dark and we're trying to put this together. We're getting a lot of evidence about, you know, some of the background stuff that was happening. Presumably the queen is maybe in on some murder herself, but we're not quite sure yet. We're gonna find out the rest of the details today, I guess. We're continuing our investigation as Apollo's being chased by the Royal Guard. Let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, boy. Yeah, well, last time it was Miles, or Phoenix and Miles working together, gathering some evidence where they could. And we're switching perspectives between Apollo and Phoenix. I guess we're back to Apollo, I imagine. Pretty and bizarre. So yeah, oh yeah, they're probably after Apollo because they figured out he's the son of Dirk, or we just kind of told them. Those guys sure are persistent. Ooh. Yeah, they even wore me out, and that doesn't happen often. Why are they after us anyway? Apollo, it's the Royal Guards again. Arg, quick, hide. Imagine we're gonna duck into the sewer, head to Dirk's office. Hey, where'd Hornhead and Spidey here go? And, you know, I always thought the like spikes, horns on like Apollo's head, it's kind of reaching, but man, the Spidey hair seems even more reaching for Athena. Spidey here, they're not talking about me, are they? Is that a trick question? We know you're hiding somewhere around here. Yeah, and they'll talk very strangely. Oh, that weird looking bird over there. Did it just... Yeah, this is the third time they've had this bird roar. And like they point it out every time. And even though we're in the middle of hiding from the police, Apollo feels the need to explain this to her. Yeah, it did. It's called a warbat, and you know what? I'll tell you all about it later when we're not being chased by masked men. There you go, Apollo. Come out wherever you are. Head over to the Founder's Orb if you know what's good for you. Figures they're after the orb. I don't want to know what they do to us if we were captured. They grill us in those obnoxious loud voices. I'd cave after the first hour, confess whatever they wanted, truth or no. Come on out now, you foreign devils. Ooh boy, this has gone far enough. Let's not keep Her Eminence waiting any longer. Gotta get out of here. There must be a safe place to hide somewhere. Hey, check this out. Badge. Apollo, do you really have to show me that right this second? Sorry, it's just something I do now when I'm stuck. Anyway, your shouting isn't helping either. Wait, it's Spidey here. Eek! Yeah! Oh, wow. You said I'm flying. Let's find somewhere else to hide before the other guards get here. Oh, interesting. Okay, glad I did that. We're bad. Maybe we can hide here. No way. They'd find us in no time. Stay where you are. They're closing in on us. We've got to find a place to hide. All right, well. Duck down to the sewer. Look, a manhole. Ah, that's right. Say, son, do you remember my office? Sure. I remember that messy, dimly lit room. While I masked on Amara's assassination is kept there. think it might help you on this case. Do you remember how to get there? Athena, I know where we can hide. Follow me. Oh, where are we going? Here. Well, you're not seriously thinking about going down there. It smells like rotten eggs. Remember those rats I hear? You got no choice. Where do you get spider from this? Oh, I can get us somewhere safe, but this is the only way in. Quick, before it's too late. Ugh. It's gonna take forever to get this stench out of my hair. Yeah, we made it. Speaking of spiders. Remember Former Sodomati law offices. Looks like we lost them. This is a... I mean, obviously it's run down, but it's kind of swanky too. I guess it's hard to say compared to Phoenix's office because it's got so much, you know, Phoenix's office has got so much junk lying around. But this has got, you know, there's couch setups, TV, refrigerator. Presumably, the law offices have something like this. Still get to see it much these days. That was close. Dirk's office. How long has it been since I last set foot in here? At least we're safe for now. Or safe now, but... Why is the thing all huddled over in the corner like that? Ah! That's... Hey, Jay, what the heck are you doing here? The Ron Royal Guards are after us. Ha ha ha. Once a rebel, always a rebel. Don't worry, the regime doesn't know about this place, so you can relax now. Good, but since when am I part of the rebellion? I don't recall signing up. Apollo. Hey, yeah, we're all here. Gang's all here. Mr. Wright, what are you doing here? Saw you two go into that manhole. You narrowly escaped the guards' notice. It was like watching a pair of ostriches burying their heads in the sand. This was a closer shave than I had thought. Where does this door go? Like, this place wasn't always just accessible through the sewers, correct? Like, there should be like a front door somewhere. Anyway, you're safe and sound now. That's what really counts. Even if it's boarded up, you should still be able to, you know, go through it. Oh, I also have some evidence for you. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Wright. Case evidence received from the boss. Yeah, it was kind of a short segment. I don't know why they bothered like switching our inventory over like that. So like we didn't have to present anything, so they could have kept that blank, or they could have just had us have the same inventory. It doesn't like matter. What's this? What is this dubious hovel we found ourselves in anyway? The Defiant Dragon's safe house, also known as the former Sodomati law offices. I see. Well, though it might just be happenstance. Here I am, chief prosecutor, hiding out in a rebel base. Please don't report this place to the local police, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Might as well take a look around while we're waiting for the heat to die down out there. Come on, Athena, stop moping over there and help me check this place out. Please tell me there's a shower here. There's a sink in the kitchen, and if you're lucky, maybe even some soap. Sorry I even asked. Gonna look around a little bit. This is Dirk's old law book. Look, there's a mark on the cover. It looks like it was branded with a hot iron. Yeah, I think it was done in protest against the Defense Culpability Act. Although, again, we don't know that for sure. Even this picture. Yeah, it was. If this is the Queen Amara. Presumably it is. The book's already branded. Huh. There's an entry on the DC Act right here, see? Weird. Huh. Forgot, yeah, that's in there. Man, this photo's super weird then. Doesn't mean Amara was alive during this whole thing. Let's just... Interesting. Evidence those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. So this is the infamous anti-lawyer law you guys were always talking about. How many pages of evidence do we have now? Just 2. All right. Well, here, before we look around for more evidence, let's talk to the dude. Satamati Law Offices. So, Dad, you guys are still using this office, I see? Yep, except now it's the official HQ of the Defiant Dragons. As Dirk said, and I quote, "We must keep it for the day when when Kurin needs lawyers once more." Restoring the legal system to its rightful form through popular uprising. You can tell how much Dirk believes in his cause. Oh, and AJ, Dirk said something else that might interest you. Said that he hopes you'll come back and take over this office someday. Ooh, wouldn't that be interesting? Take over me? Those were his words. He may have been half joking, though. Dirk, guess what I heard from PW? AJ's become a lawyer. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. Must have been because of you, Dirk. I'm not so sure about that. I imagine he's already forgotten about me. What are you talking about? I bet he can't wait to follow in your footsteps. Nothing would make me happier. Maybe one day he'll return to Kurin and take over this office. Just a pipe dream, though. Dirk really said that? Dirk was never hands-on kind of dad. Not a day went by that he wasn't thinking of ya. That much I'm sure of. Doesn't get more parental than that. Dirk, and to think I really did spend my days trying to forget you. I'm looking forward to a nice long talk once you're free. Now we're just looking around. All right. This chick. There's a scary looking knife sticking out of the queen's picture. If anyone saw this, they'd think the Defiant Dragons were a violent group. Oh, that was actually me trying to kill a fly. Threw that knife at it, but I whiffed and the thing ended up stuck right between her eyes. I mean, this wasn't on purpose. That's what's with the altar. We pay our respects to the victims of the Defense Culpability Act. DC Act is a heinous law that puts innocent people to death. A law that's supposed to protect the people sends them to their graves instead. Think about it, insane. You know, I heard in the Great Ace Attorney trilogy, you can go through the art gallery, and he has there's the artist's notes on all the pictures, why he did them, and such. Something that was very interesting about that game is the artist talked about the process for making the games, and that the characters he designed came before what they knew what to do with them, which is why some character designs are absolutely top tier in that game, but kind of just fall by the wayside or barely used, even though they feel like they should be really important characters, or some like just weird circumstances around stuff. And it kind of implied that the writer for the games, I forget who, the game director or whatever, then just like comes up with ideas based on those characters. So I wonder how much of that applies to these backgrounds and stuff, because the way they said, like, okay, I want you to design, like, the director can talk to the artist, okay, I want you to design a rebel hideout that's a former law office. It's like, okay, well, the rebels, they hate the queen, right? So he draws this in, and like, oh, actually, I can't, and like, so, you know, when they're writing the game, it's like, rebels actually aren't violent, I'm just gonna explain away this stuff. So I kind of think about that stuff. I don't know if it was just for the Great Ace Attorney, or if they do that for multiple Ace Attorney games. But it was interesting to hear that the character designs come before the stories do. There's the wall of memories. Who's the kid? Wait a second, that's you, Apollo. I'd recognize those horns anywhere. Is that really the only way anybody recognizes me? You were so cute. And who's that fine-looking young man? That's Nahuta, back when he used to smile. Wow, his smile is absolutely angelic. Sure brings back memories. That was taken the day we all went out fishing. What was Prosecutor Satamati like when he was younger? He was kind of quiet but passionate when it came to his convictions. Oh, here come old guy. Oh, I'm so young. I swear, those yawns only happened recently and while I'm streaming. Ugh. Hopefully that's time more. It was when we finally made Prosecutor, he was all fired up to change Kurin for the better. Now he's nothing more than a Goron's lackey. Seems like Dats has a lot to say about Nahuta. I'll ask him about his thoughts later. Food. I'm surprised to see so many appliances here. There's even a TV. Speaking of which, we gave the people of Korean quite a shock when the Plume Punisher Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm was last on TV. You mean that show where the actors play the parts of Dirk and Arefa? You hijacked that in the middle of its broadcast, right? Yep, all the writers do each week is try to ruin the Divine Dragon's good name. You decided to hit him where it hurts. That must have been real shocking, especially for the kids who waited all week to see it. I mean, the show's main villain was actually hijacking the very show he's in. Kind of neat. Lizards. Ew, is that a newt? Come on, Athena, can't you tell a gecko when you see one? What's the difference? Geckos like to live in houses, while newts prefer to be outside near water. Yeah, we have a bunch of geckos near my house. I don't come inside, though. I think there was like one time there was a gecko. But I see them when I'm going to my car all the time out in the driveway. They're totally different creatures. Well, how do you know this one wasn't caught outside near some water? Could very well be a gecko. No, I'm pretty sure it's a newt. Oh, so then you agree it's a newt, Apollo. Back! Fell right into a trap. Some rabbit duck season things going on here. You're both wrong. It's just a plain old lizard. Sign. Tatamati Law Offices. That's a sign Dirk used to display out front. Hey, Dats. I heard the office used to do quite a bit of business. That it did. Dirk was a famous lawyer with countless courtroom victories, after all. He was the dauntless dragon who turned trials upside down, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. His fame as a lawyer spread far and wide across Kurin back in the day. But the day comes when he can proudly display the sign again. What's with all the spider webs, Dats? Don't you ever clean the place? Not the webs. We have what you call a symbiotic relationship. They catch the bugs that get in here, and I don't clean them up. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, but you have to live with spiders. Not all the bugs. Dirk's jacket. Just try it on, Apollo. It might actually suit you. Really? There's also a spare eye patch here. Why not try that on too? Sticker. Sorry. It's just picturing you and all that. Just too funny. Ow, my pride. I mean, he was like that in Dual Destinies. Maybe they're making fun of that. Alright, well, I've danced around it, but I'm pretty sure this is the file. Well, actually, dance around just a little longer. Wait. Don't tell me we have to go back through the manhole to get out of here. The only reason the safe house is still safe is because the front door has been boarded up. Okay, so yeah, but I get like it's boarded up, but where does it go? He's still in the middle of town. Like that window is not that boarded up. You can see through it from the outside. Fine, then I'll just have to live here till the revolution begins. What if I told you rats come out at night? They'll just start the revolution before sundown. But the revolution never thought it'd get a new ally this way. Alright, let's take a look. I wonder what's in this file. Oh, it's full of newspapers clippings. The arson incident involving Amara's private residence. Amara was slipped a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. The lighter front of the scene had Dirk's fingerprints on it. There seems to be a collection of documents and information on Mara's assassination. This is what Dirk was talking about. I didn't know most of the stuff here on top. Let's see what else there is. He talked about forged evidence, but he never mentioned what specifically. So maybe the lighter, although you could have a lighter, it doesn't mean anything. Wow, where did he get all this? Anything important here? Paul's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. He was struck in the head by the culprit. The victim's passport Any pictures of him were burned up in the fire. Without knowing his real name, no divination seance could be performed. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just like, when do we start streaming? For whatever reason, I need to blow my nose soon after. Alright, so this is blaming Dirk for Apollo's dad's death. Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. What? This is about your father, Apollo. Looks like it, but I was never told much more than what's written here. Really? How come? Dirk always skated around the subject. Maybe he thought I was still too young. Did Apollo's father actually cause the murder? Probably not. I don't think they would do that. Plus, I always thought of Dirk as my dad, so I never really brought it up. Oh, I see. Still, I feel kind of sorry for your real dad. A real dad? I was never really interested in learning about him. After seeing this picture, I can't help but feel a little curious. What if dads could tell me anything about him? Oh, this file looks like it might be useful. There's so many pages, I can't tell what's important. We need someone to help organize all of this, and I think I know just the person to ask. Edgeworth, he's really smart. No. We go talk to Dirk, I guess. Here, let's take a look at that file, though. It's 2 pages, wow. I mean, presumably we're gonna talk to Dirk and it's gonna have more pages. Yuta. Wasn't Yuta? What's part of the Defiant Dragons? Yep, Yuta was a rising star in the resistance. He vowed to fight for the cause through the legal system. Then he became a prosecutor and give Inga and Garan the smackdown they deserved. But now he's, yeah, a puppet of the Garan regime. Not only that, but now he's gonna prosecute his own dad. Doesn't add up. Wonder what happened to him. Me too, but if I had to guess, I think Garan has some serious leverage over him. Leverage? Like what? Wish I knew, but it seems like Dirk knows. Tried to press him about it, but he wouldn't say. Come to think of it, Dirk did say Yuta is suffering. Yes, he knows the rightful state of Kurin's legal system. Something forces him to bend Garan's will, and it's tearing him apart. If that's the case, I bet Yuta doesn't really want to go through with Dirk's prosecution. Do we ever? No, Apollo's never presented his badge to this guy. Ah, what? Do you know something about this? Nope, just felt like shouting is all. Had me going there for a second. All right, well, see if he recognizes this. Ah, nope. You want to see this? No, okay. Let's stay on topic here. The mark of the dragon. That's the symbol of our group, the Defiant Dragons. Dirk has the same mark tattooed on the palm of his hand, right? Yep, and I've got one too. Really? Where? On my heart. Oh, you mean metaphorically. Like you're ready to die at any time for the cause or something like that? You got that right. Dead or alive, I'll always be a Defiant Dragon. That's about this file. Can you help me figure out which pages are most relevant? Yep, sure I can. I sure can. Got the whole thing memorized. See this page? It's definitely worth a look. Oh, that's right. Prosecutor Sadamati was part of the royal family, wasn't he? Yeah. Son of the terrorist Dirk Naruto was expelled from the royal family. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Kurinese people. Yep, but he was expelled after that whole thing with Dirk happened. Ooh, that implies sins of the father apply to the children. That's directly relating to Rifa then. Rifa. He must have gone through to hell once he entered the legal world, though. Because of the whole, the sins of the father are visited upon his children thing. Yep, in the eyes of the people, Dirks is not only a traitor to his kingdom, he's also the terrorist who assassinated the previous queen. So as his son, Yudi no doubt got the cold shoulder at every turn. Must have been really hard on him. Yeah, the ties between father and son aren't something you could break, even if you tried. No matter where he went, he was probably labeled the son of a criminal. But despite it all, he made a name for himself through blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, just look at him now. He's a star prosecutor working cases around the globe. He's become a hero, the pride and joy of Kurin. Now that's a Nikyuta I know. Super smart and never willing to give in. Must have studied and fought like his life depended on it to get to where he is today. Well. Anything else? Not that, not that. Albie's not gonna know anything about this stuff or this stuff. I don't think he would recognize any rest of this. Let's try asking about his dad. Dad, I wanted to ask you about this picture. That's a picture of your pops that Dirk found. He had a heck of a time tracking it down. He said he searched all over for it. Why? Why would he go through all that trouble? Dad, please tell us everything you know about Apollo's dad. My father, here we go. You know what my biological father was like? Rick once told me about him. He was a modern minstrel, walking the world and making music in his travels. His file has some information on your real dad. It says he died in a blaze at the Queen of Mars residence 23 years ago. That's right, Dirk had invited him over. Oh god, I just realized something. Why was he there? Oh my god, does Apollo have another half-sister? Like Rafa? What was Apollo's dad doing there? Actually then, wait a minute. If Dirk, okay, so... No, okay, no, it can still be him. Yeah, so... Alright, that's right, Dirk had to invite him over. Dirk's the kind of guy, we're gonna let it ride for now. Dirk's the kind of guy who can become fast friends with just about anyone. It seems your pops was like that too, AJ. They hit it off at a bar. The next thing you know, Dirk asked him to over to play some tunes. And the place went up in flames. Yeah, Dirk had just stepped out for a sec when the fire broke out. Apollo, you were there too, but you were still just a baby. So like, okay, Dirk's saying it's a setup. You know, that he's not the real killer, then who is? Because in the puzzle, well, I mean, it's gonna be the queen. I guess, yeah, right. Huh. But it is weird that Apollo's dad was there too. Huh. Guess we'll just sit on it. You were there too, but you were still just a baby. God. I remember hearing about that when I was little. It was crying shame. Your pops just happened to take you along that day. And things are getting weird. Had to take you along that day. So you were there with him when the fire broke out. But Dirk risked his life to save you. Like Dirk's done nothing but save me all my life. All your pop's stuff got burned up, including anything that could have helped us identify him. All I knew about him at first was his stage name, Jangly Justice. Something like that. I mean, hey. I guess it's not his real name. Dirk did everything he could just to dig up what little we know now. So Justice wasn't his real last name then, maybe. What about my mother? Do you know anything about her? All I know is she's all we know is she was traveling with your pops. That day she was off doing something on her own. And then she probably didn't even know my father had been with Dirk, huh? She must have been desperate to find you and your father once you'd gone missing. No doubt, but the Queen's assassination threw the kingdom into chaos. The police were so overwhelmed they were probably hardly of any help to her. We searched and searched till our legs gave out too, but we've never found her. With your father's stuff all burned up, we had zero leads, not even a photo. And that's how I became an orphan. Yeah, who knows? Maybe your mom read about the details of the fire in the newspaper. Maybe she figured you died along with your pops. Well, I had no idea you'd been through all that, Apollo. Then you believe me. You believe in my son's innocence. Oh, hey. Poor son, in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Petition the government for his release and declaration of innocence. Well, welcome back, you. Oh, thank you. Forever in your debt. She's talking to someone else. I'm a little confused there. Who's that? Hey there, Miss Inmi. Hard at work, I see. Yes, I have my own battle that I must wage. After all, there are many who suffer under the Defense Culpability Act. Miss Inmi, please don't forget about our case too. Well, I will look into it as soon as I'm able. I remember I talked about, where are the other rebels? I don't know if I included this whole family. But here she is. Some other rebels. Dats, what's Miss Enemy doing here? I mean, they lost their original hideout, right? Lending ear to all those suffering under the regime's wrongful accusations. Lady whose husband's been imprisoned, parents whose son's been falsely charged. She's helping all those types of people. She's trying to help the revolution along in her own special way. Yep, and thanks to her, more and more folks are coming over to our side. All the people who have been unhappy with the regime have been waiting for just this chance. They're starting to speak out in support of us. People are responding, and a grassroots movement is growing. Their dream of revolution may be finally becoming true. What should we do about the Founder's Orb? We'll probably run into the Royal Guards again the moment we leave this place. Oh, we can't stay here forever, so we'll have to think of something. I've got it. Why don't you hold on to it, Dats? You'll be safe here, right? You can count on me. I'll get it back to you in time for tomorrow's trial at the Hall of Justice. Alright, I mean, personality-wise, he's not great, but he's shown to be pretty good at evading cops and getting out of trouble. Even though he gets into a lot of trouble too. What now, Apollo? Oh, we got a handle on what happened 23 years ago. Maybe we should pay Dirk a visit. There's something I want to show him. I'll join you. I want to talk to him before tomorrow's trial. Maybe I should wait here then. We'll attract undue attention if we go in too large of a group. All right. Have fun here, Edgeworth. May 18th, detention center visitors room. Hey there, son. Came to see your old man again? Hi, Dirk. Guess they are done questioning you. Yeah, you'd think that Nahyuta might have cut his old man a little slack, but no. He really laid into me. Seems they are really keen on recovering the Founder's Orb. When I wouldn't tell them where it was, he confiscated what few possessions I had left. Not your eye patch, though. Wait, Dirk's not wearing his attorney's badge. You even took that from him? Sigh. I still got mine. Boom. Proud of you, son. I think read this yesterday. Yeah. All right. Before we present any other evidence we found, let's talk to him. Nahyuta. Confiscated all my prized jailbreaking tools. What did you expect? I mean, no prosecutor in their right mind would let a prisoner keep stuff like that. Did he take your attorney's badge too? No, I thought it was strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. Wonder why. Indeed. I find it hard to understand anything he does these days. Attorney's badge. Yakirini's attorney's badge. You worn it all these years, even though all lawyers are gone. Yes, because the dragon's eye is the embodiment of my creed. In the world, a dragon never yields, huh? Hey, Dirk, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. Dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nahyuta Apollo, I vow to restore Kuran's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. He always was saying stuff like that to the two of us. A big softy. Nahyuta, the reason why you didn't take Dirk's badge, because you still remember those talks too? Really hope that's what it is. Yeah, we still don't know if Nahyuta is playing the long game, like the long con, like just cutting all ties so he can just get in deeper with the Garan. or if something actually happened. Although it looks like there might be some kind of, they're implying some maybe kind of hostage situation, sort of. We don't know exactly what. Could be implying that they know Dirk and they'll kill him if he doesn't do what they want. Or long shot, because we know, again, this picture is really weird. Weird that the law book is branded, even though this should have happened after she died. Like, there's the long shot that this Amara is still alive somehow. In fact, we made a big deal about that sarcophagus, and you know, there's probably someone hiding in there. Oh man. It's gonna be Nana, probably. That's what I'm assuming. But we're gonna open the sarcophagus, find her, and there's gonna be no body. Maybe. Oh, but her, if she's alive, what does that mean? I mean, I guess, you know, it means that she can come back to the throne, I guess, but why would... Okay, why would she be alive, though? Like, under the... Right now, we're on the assumption that current queen, whose name I forget, Garan. Queen Garan, right? It's not the country's name, Garan. It's Queen Garan. Set fire and killed Apollo's dad, presumably Amara. Or she wanted to, because she can take over the throne. She doesn't have any spiritual powers, which I'm, you know, still hasn't been confirmed, but that's what I'm guessing and why she wants the Founder's Orb. But, okay, let's say she's alive. Either Garan kept her alive and is hiding it, which I don't think she would do. So, like, hurts her plan. Or Dirk or somebody is keeping her alive in secret. And again, I don't know why. I don't know why they would do it. I don't know why either party would do that. So that's like, maybe a misunderstanding here. But like, this picture seems to imply it. But we'll see how true that is. I just don't know why she would be alive. Or why anyone would keep that secret if she is alive. We'll have to play and figure it out. Son, would you keep my badge for me? Are you sure? I can't take something so important to you. That's exactly why I want you to hold on to it, Apollo. Placing my fate in your hands. Alright, I'll make sure it stays safe. Little Dirk scream. Dragon never yields. Dehuta never confiscated it. Right. Show him his badge. My attorney's badge. You don't see those around here anymore. It's not exactly something you can wear publicly, is it? Yeah, and if you did, people would jeer and throw things at you. I've had tomatoes, cabbages, and even eggs thrown at me. That sounds awful. At least they didn't try throw rocks. True, plus if you were good at catching things, you'd have the start of a good meal. What? True, an hour's walk can yield all you need for a nice big hot pot. Dirk, I'm sorry I never knew how bad things were when you were raising us. I'll show him the law book. Careful with that. Don't go showing it around town. You'll be branded a rebel. I'm not a rebel. Don't be ridiculous. You're a member of the Defiant Dragon simply by being my son. Or did you think that the dragon tattoo on your rear end was just for show? What? You have a tattoo on your butt, Apollo? Let me see. Relax, Athena. He's just jerking our chains again. I mean, the big one. Let's just do it. Is that for me, son? Oh. Generic dialogue. No, I was just wondering if you knew anything about it. What, you came to visit me and you didn't even bring me bring a present? I think that is a no. You don't want a picture of your wife? That's a weird thing to not have a conversation about. You're asking about this again. That's the only remaining photo of your father. Take good care of it. I will. Just surprised to see it after all these years. Had a tough life tracking it down and then retrieving it. Tough time tracking it down and retrieving it. It was taken by some European tourists who just happened to be watching your father. Had one of my men go out to Europe to look. Just to Europe. No, nowhere specific, just Europe, to look them up and ask whether we could have it. You went through all that trouble? I did, so don't go losing it or anything. Said I'd take good care of it, didn't I? Alright, this is the big one. Prepared that myself. Use it well. I'm surprised you were able to gather this much information. Wasn't easy. After all of the evidence from the assassination was lost in the fire. The newly installed Garan regime was in full control of the media. Every lead I tried to follow led to a dead end. Then how am I supposed to solve this case? You figure something out tomorrow's trials. Figure out, oh my god. You'll figure something out once tomorrow's trial is underway. After all, no one's looked into this assassination since my last trial. If I can turn things around enough to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Really, what else are we taking pictures of here? Showing him. Nope. You're in this book. Nope. Like, I feel like he should be commenting on a lot of these. I'll show. Is this your pendant? Found this in the tomb. Look familiar? Ah, that's Dirk. Where did you find it? Down between the monk statues in the tomb. Is it yours, Dirk? Oh, it's something I bought. Why is he suddenly acting all awkward? Wonder when I lost it. Let's have it. It's very important to me. Of course. I'll just make a note about it for future reference. Seems it belongs to Dirk. Again, this implies it's like Amara's ended, but I just don't know why. Hello, remember how Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk? Why don't you ask about that? Oh, right. I'll give it a try. You can ask too, Phoenix. You're here. Just gotta build up the confidence here to ask him about it. Breathe in, breathe out. Why? Why did it do that load? That's the weirdest one yet, because it just brought us back to the same menu, except for this. Someone dear to Dirk. What did the minister mean when he said he had someone dear to you in the palm of his hand? What was he talking about? Yuta seemed to know, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Well, I have no idea, so... Like, okay. Why would they keep him, like... You presumably keeping her alive, you like say, oh, keep her alive. That way we can make Dirk ineffective and Yuta do whatever we say. They don't need a prosecutor. Her being alive threatens the queen way too much. But, whatever. Well, I have no idea, so... Well, you obediently followed his every word after he said that. It seems to me the minister was in close proximity to someone you really care about. Oh, someone you really care about that isn't Nahuta? Wait, don't tell me. Is there a new lady in your life, Dirk? What? No, don't be ridiculous, son. Love of my life was Amara, but she's gone now and there will never be another. Yeah, is his sister or something? Wait, does this mean... Dirk, have you really not met someone new, somebody new? Alright. But she's gone now, or there will be another. Let's do the basic thing and let's look at the hands. I don't think it's gonna be here because it's so obvious. Ooh, she shifts back and forth. Okay, well, that was easy to spot. So, okay, she's alive. That's what this is implying. Was Amara. Ooh, is that? Gotcha. Dirk, you can't fool me. You tensed up when you said, but she's gone now. And you consciously moved your arm. I was getting something to press up against your jacket. Ah! How did you do that? Oh, so that's it. You're hiding a woman's photo up your sleeve. You don't have to keep secrets like that from me, Dirk. You're an eligible bachelor now, but you'll introduce her to me at some point, right? Keep telling you there's no other woman. Fine, then let's see it. What are you hiding up your sleeve? Just this. Satisfied? Oh, but that's the pendant we found in Amara's tomb. See, I wasn't trying to hide anything. Why did he tense up? Dirk, let me take a look at that. Ah! Hey, what's this button for? Does it turn into a key? Whoa! Dude, it's a locket. It's a picture of Dirk and some lady. And she's really young looking too. Mon Dieu, are you into younger woman, Dirk? Or younger woman, no. Dirk, you old dog, you got yourself a younger lover. We stop with this nonsense. Clearly he's young in the picture too. This is Amara before she died. If you look closer, you'll see that I was younger too. Hey, you're right. Oh, that's no fun. Wait a second, haven't we seen this woman before? Now that you mention it, is this woman the same as the one in the pendant's photo? And now we bring up the photo. Take that! The one in this pendant is also the one in this photo. Paulo, where did you get this? Had no reaction to it earlier. From the safe in Inga's room. Paulo, if this is Queen Amara, it had to have been taken at least 23 years ago. That's just not possible. Yeah, I just noticed the same thing. Here's why this photo couldn't be 23 years old. 23 years old. Because we're doing this. Take that! Take a look at that law book. It has the mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. But that mark didn't exist until after you started your revolutionary activities, Dirk. So this photo must have been taken after Goran came into power. And that didn't happen until after Amara was assassinated. So then how could Amara even be in this photo? Wait a second. That would mean that Amara is still alive? But why? Why would that be the case? Looks like you found me out, son. Wait, so it's actually true? If they're like, ugh. If it's just to keep like Dirk and Nahuta in line, that's so lame. Someone dear to Dirk. Dirk, what do you mean Amara's still alive? I thought she'd been assassinated. So did I, but it seems she made it out alive, only to be held captive by the Goran regime. Why would they do that? When I fled from law and went underground 23 years ago, I heard some shocking news from a Defiant Dragon spy. There were rumors of Queen Amara being sighted at the palace. Those rumors turned out to be true? Yes, I snuck into the palace to see for myself. She was confined within the grounds, but otherwise she was fit as a fiddle. Ooh, could it be? Actually, maybe I thought of something. It goes with my theory that the Queen Goran can't do spirit channeling. Maybe they need Amara to actually handle the spirit channeling stuff, but she she does it in secret, sort of. So like, okay, I'm gonna spirit channel. She goes, hides, comes out, and it's, you know, Queen Amara actually doing the channeling because her form changes. Then she leaves before she finishes. It's weird, but it's kind of hard to swing, but that's gotta be it, right? So then the sarcophagus in the tomb, it's empty? Yes, that entire tomb is one big charade. Goran had it built to stage Amara's death. We're not going to be cursed by their vengeful spirit. That's a relief. She was being held under virtual house arrest. So I freed her and we made a run for it. Oh, maybe not. This photo was taken back then. Look at how they're both grinning from ear to ear. There's a fingerprint on the metal part. Oh yeah. Dirk must have left it by accident. Oh, Mr. Sadamati, I want to hear all about how you ran away with Queen Amara. But he implies that this conversation implied that they had, you know, they know about it or can control her fate somehow. So they're not together somewhere, right? On the run with Amara. Surprised Amara agreed to run away with you. I mean, Goran must have told her that you tried to kill her. Tried to convince her that I wasn't the one who set the house the blaze. She believed you? She said, and I quote, "I shall accompany you so I may ascertain the truth myself." Heh, she always was a tough one to read. I bet she was thrilled when you came to her rescue, Mr. Sadamati. Be set free by your beloved. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Yeah, well, there was no happily ever after once Goran people caught up with us. They took Amara away to who knows where. Snuck back into the palace and searched high and low for her, but to no avail. Okay, so yeah, she's back there. Probably moved her to some remote mountain prison or the like. Does Nahuta know about this? He knows she's his true mother. I told him as much. Wait, is that why Nahuta is following Goran's orders? Most likely. And then do you think that deep down he doesn't really want to prosecute you? Well, he's not one to show his feelings. And lately I've had no idea what he's thinking. Apollo, we need to grill the queen about Amara when we have the chance. I mean, I was wondering about something. Little baby the lady's holding. That Prosecutor Sadamati? Not necessarily. It could just be, well, be me. After all, we're only 1 year apart. I don't know. I mean, the kid in the picture is too cute to be you. Let's settle this by asking Dirk himself. And now we can present the picture. Dirk, about the cute little kid in this photo. Is that me? Huh? What are you talking about? See, I told you it was Prosecutor Sadamati. Hmm? Oh, I see. Well, either way, it's not you, son. So then, it's Nahyuta. It was taken when he was about a year old, right? That would mean you ran away with Amara around 22 or 23 years ago. Hmm? You're pretty good with numbers, son. Impressive. Huh? What kind of answer is that? Dirk and Amara's life on the run about 23 years ago. Someone else. Before you go, son, there's something else I need to tell you. Something important. What is it, Dirk? I've never seen you act so serious before. Is it Rafa or something? It's someone. He's not being clear about it. Okay, what do we have for... Like, hard to tell. Got little eyebrows. Rafa's the only other person. If it's not us two, then it's the only person it could be. It's really hard to tell. I don't know, it's got the eyebrows kind of resemble the same color as well, no, it's black. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Oh well. Something important. So what's this something important you have to tell me? Listen, son, even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow, I don't have long to live. Huh? What are you talking about? What I mean is I can already hear the Twilight Realm calling my name. There's no escaping death now that it has its sights on me. What? Is this another one of your jokes? I wish it was. Haha. You can't fool me, Dirk. Hmm? That's a strange. Why isn't my bracelet reacting? Wanna clarify? Are you sick? Something like that. You're not joking. Afraid not, son. Sorry. Isn't there a cure? Or at least some sort of treatment? Fortunately not. Not for what I've got. You need some kind of surgery. I'll work hard so I can pay for it. So please. It's too late. There's nothing more to be done now. You always say a dragon never yields, so why are you giving up now? Oh, I'm sorry. I really am. In my mind, it's the flag this is setting that this is... So Amara is... No. I was gonna say, maybe Amara is channeling Dirk. Like, maybe Dirk died in the fire. Amara's channeling him? Like, just long-term channeling him. Like, no, they have her captured, so that can't be the case. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why? I don't understand. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why? Like, if we found out the truth of the case, we realized, oh, Dirk died. It's actually Amara's. Look, listen, Apollo, I've got a favor to ask of you. Would you keep quiet about this? I don't want my fellow dragons to find out. They lose all hope if they knew I was dying. Did you do that for me? Of course. Why is this happening now? This one is finally starting to feel like, you really are my... At that time, we'd finally Thought that this time we finally, but now... Damn it, why? Follow. Listen, son, I don't have much longer to live. I'll never let them execute me, not before I finish what I need to. I know, Dirk. There's no way I'm going to let them prove you guilty. Before he goes, I'm going to turn back time by righting the wrongs that have been done. Going to restore Dirk's freedom. Return a real smile to Yuta's face. I'm going to win this case. I just have to. Son, I have one more big secret. What? There's something else you've been hiding from me? I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did. Mara, presumably. What's that supposed to mean? Forgive me, you'll just have to find out for yourself. The only way. I don't understand, Dirk. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. Yeah, my brain, like, even though it seems like, well, on the knowledge we've been given, it should be impossible that this is Amara channeling Dirk who died in the fire, but I'm not ruling it out. Maybe there's something weird with the way he's talking about it, because it is weird. There's so many theories, there's so many ways to interpret it, so we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess, but that's what I feel the strongest about. I feel like this might be Amara, and Dirk's been dead. I don't know why she's been, you know, well, I mean, I get somewhat if she's hiding from Queen Garan, because she knows that, oh god, Queen Garan tried to kill me, so I need to hide my identity. I'm just gonna spirit channel my husband, and then, you know, live as him. Oh god. Then they explain, like, why did they spot him on the grounds? What is he talking about with her being captured? Like, in a way, she's captured because she's still being hunted. You want to, like, stretch it out, but that doesn't explain the sightings of her on the grounds. It can't be, you know, someone spirit channeling her because she's not dead. Because that would be a really cool twist, I think. But I think, I don't know. We'll see. And I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I also don't know what, maybe he's referring to something about Apollo's father. Not that because I believe in you. You're my son after all. Dirk. What is he talking about? Wait, he's not going to reveal that he actually is the killer, is he? I think we've run out of things to discuss. Apollo, are you okay? I'm fine. Free him now! Release Dirk! What's going on out there? Sounds like the party's getting started without me. Huh? Coming from the temple. Let's go, Apollo, and take a look. Alright, well, I guess we're done here. What's happening out here? Temple. Whoa, what is all this? Some anime. Hey, you better not lose the Founder's Orb.
What are they? Huh? Well, look at that. The people are coming to take their courts back. Don't hold back, men! Arrest them all!
Dirk belongs to the people. Give him back. Yeah, where are you holding him? Quiet down, you. They have my big sister too, but she didn't do anything wrong. Ouch! Stop pulling my hair. Release my son. Release him now. Ah, stop that. No biting. This really is something. It looks like Dats and Miss Enemy are leading the charge. You enlightened fools. Do you honestly think this will change anything? I mean, yeah, it kind of will. Yudi, why do you keep serving that witch Garan? Ah, it's... Hey, Nihuta. You again. What's going on here? It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion. But I never thought it would grow so large. However, they will all be under arrest shortly. Reinforcements are almost here. You gonna arrest your entire country, bro? They'll be arrested just for protesting? They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. Her Eminence Queen Garan has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. But weren't you once a member of the Defiant Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I'm simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. Oh, it can't be as simple as that. Listen, Yuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey, you're not getting away this time. We need to talk. Sigh, I see there's no reasoning with you. Very well then, speak. I was gonna show the evidence, but I should do this. Badge. Why is that badge before me? Oh, no, we talked about this, I think. Yeah, we talked about this. Pretty sure. Alright, let's talk. Dirk. Yuta, do you really have to serve as a prosecutor on Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood, it's just not right. Again with this drivel. Your ethical standards are not the be-all, end-all of the world around you. I'm not getting into another debate with him. Yuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? Apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. Found guilty, he probably wouldn't even make it until his execution day. Or that it's gonna come out that he's channeling, it's Amara channeling Dirk, and he can't keep up the ruse any longer, but whatever. What are you talking about? Knowing this, are you still prepared to send an already dying man to his grave? Well, enough with the Zen monk acts, Yuta. Tell me about how you really feel. Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill, but I must fulfill mine. I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is part of your lot in life. Actually, I just thought, would he age while being channeled? I don't think he would, right? It looks old because that's why he looks old. Although people were confused initially when they saw him, because they're like, oh, they didn't recognize that it was younger in that photo. Like, oh, he looks the same, but his hair is definitely different. I don't know. It's still a long out there theory with not much proof. But other than that, it kind of solves the confusion of why Mara's alive, but like no one's doing anything about it. Well, I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to the trial is part of your lot in life. As for why you've been at Garon's every beck and call, yeah, I might have the answer. Mara. Yuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere? So Dirk told you, did he? Yes, that's true. My mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom. Keep her safe from harm. Safe from harm? But Dirk said the Garan regime is holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. You don't know where Amara is being held. You only know that it's some secluded hideaway where visitors are not allowed. I've heard she leads a simple life akin to that of monastic disciples. It sounds like she's being held captive to me. Listen, Yuta, aren't you really doing this? Aren't you really doing the queen's bidding because she's holding Amara captive? And this whole thing with Dirk, you know he didn't really kill Inga, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live, so I want to help him however I can. This time it's our turn. Well, hiccup. You could have been killed, but you risked your life to save us. Why? What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Yuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand? It's our turn to help Dirk however we can. Gonna say something, buddy, here? What you speak of is futile. Let it go and move on. The guilty verdict, the hopelessness, you must resign yourself to it at all. Resign itself to it all. Clinging to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair. So let it go and move on. Nihuta, are you really going to just roll over on this? I have no more time for idle chatter. Must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me. Goodbye. Your police are losing, by the way. Apollo. Since a whirlpool of emotions coming from within Prosecutor Sadamati just now. Anger, shock, bewilderment, an icy sorrow as deep and dark as an abyss. Yeah, I picked up on that too. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who will need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Garan another visit. And ask about her sister Amara. I'm just gonna slip past all these protesters. Oh yeah, here. Alright, Garan. May 18th, Garan Palace. Oh, yeah, streamer. Oh, man, yeah. Ugh. Royal Guard isn't around. That is utter hooey. You cannot continue to deceive the people like that. Rafa, justice is more than simply speaking the truth. Is that Princess Rafa and Queen Garan over there? Or just waltzed in right to the royalty? No guards around. Want to end this rebellion? You can do it quite quick, Phoenix. You said you deceived me too, Mother. Can I ever believe a word you say again? You nincompoop. Ah, your benevolence. Yeah, I couldn't help it over here. You impudent. How? You okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. Oh, she punched me. She didn't have her staff. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. What's the matter with the princess? It sounded like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has to do something with this picture. Rafa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as soon as she saw it. So then, does that mean Princess Rafa knows what really happened? That Amara wasn't assassinated and she is still very much alive? Seems so, and she doesn't seem to be taking Garan's lies very well. That's no surprise considering how much Rafa reveres her mother. It would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness. Eavesdropping, are we? How very rude. Excuse me. You're eavesdropping on us now. Hey, you there, are you not Dirk's son? Oh, nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We actually met here to speak with we're actually here to speak with you if you could spare a moment. I could show her the picture, but we're just gonna talk to her. Mara's alive? Your Eminence, Dirk told me about Amara. About how she's still alive, that is. We know not of what you speak. After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they ran off together. She was captured and remains captive in a secret location to this day. As for Nihuta doing your bidding, it's only because Amara's life is in your hands. Oh, what an active imagination you have. Yeah, she's never gonna admit this, even if it's true. Or not true. Ha ha ha! Okay, the guards are here. Lawyer and a comedian. How droll. Whoa, where'd they come from? Anyway, she's going to play dumb. I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence. Make copies before you show this off, okay? I hope you did. Your Eminence, I ask that you take a look at this photo. Why, it's a photo of Amara. And here you can see a law book being bearing the mark of the Defiant Dragons. I believe you know what that means. Very well. Rogard, stand down. Yes, Your Eminence. Your wishes are command. Since there's no need to perpetuate this charade any longer, shall speak of all we know. Nice. Amara's alive! I like the question mark 6 exclamation point. So then you admit Mara's still alive? Yes, she's under our protection in a safe location. I think you mean being held prisoner. Where is she being kept? Oh, now why would we tell the son of a traitor that? Guess she has a point there. Yeah, this does not line up with my theory, but I don't know. She could be lying about aspects of it. Now heed our warning, Horn Devil. It would not be wise to inform people that Amara yet lives. It would only serve to plunge the public order into the chaos. I mean, it's kind of like that already. And you know, you're not supposed to be queen and she's alive. I have no intention of doing that. Sure, whatever. There's no real terrorists out there. Besides, there are real terrorists out there who might try to kill her. Good. Now, there was something we have been meaning to ask of you. I mean, her sister tried to kill her, right? Why are you allowing her? Like, who are these terrorists you speak of that aren't directly related to your, to the sister? Do you know what has become of the Founder's Orb? Founder's Orb? What are you talking about? I don't know what that is. Founder's Orb went missing after Dirk took it into the tomb. As his son, we thought you might know something of its current whereabouts. I knew it. I suppose I should thank you for that free running tour of Kurin. That was the Royal Guard's own doing. Nice try, lady. Now you're definitely not getting the orb, ever. Why do you want the orb so badly, anyway? Because it would be most dangerous in the wrong hands. Must be recovered. Is the legend true? Can the orb really impart spiritual power? Although, that's the one thing. I don't know why this is happening now. If it's true that she needs to get the spiritual power from the orb, why didn't she do it years ago? Why is this happening right now? Are you worried that someone could overthrow you with it? The Holy Mother's power is without equal. Should Her Holiness once again return to our world, you can conceivably bestow great power upon the one who unlocked this orb's secret. I guess it makes sense, considering the spirit channeling is a fact of life here. Let me ask of you, Horned Devil, did you receive the Founder's Orb from Dirk? Does it look like I did? So you like to play games, do you? Takes one to know one. We're a guard. Yes, Your Eminence. Search this devil and his belongings. What? At once, Your Eminence. Don't move. You're only making this making this harder on yourself. Okay. Yikes. Alright, what the? Eek, Apollo, don't strip here. Stop resisting. Just submit to our strip search already. Dude, it's huge, isn't it? No, wait. Hey, cut it out. Like, you've been able to see if it has it on this person, right? Ah! You're taking all of my evidence, probably. Rest in peace is my poor tattered dignity. I guess not. There's no sign of the Founder's Orb, Your Eminence. So you have hidden it somewhere. Heh, no matter. We shall recover it one way or another once you are found guilty of abetting the accused. Dirk was right. She really is bent on getting the orb. Mother. Looks like the princess is back. I took a stroll to try to calm myself, but I still find the situation unacceptable. People must be informed about Queen Amara. So she does know about that. Ooh, the fact that she... It's weird. I thought she might know of it beforehand, like she found Queen Amara on the grounds or something. But she wouldn't have reacted so strongly to the picture then. Or like, she wouldn't be confronting her mother about this now. Rafa, you do not yet possess a clear grasp of how government and its people interact. There will always be secrets that must be kept from the ignorant masses. You have little faith in our people, Mother. But as the royal priestess's duty to always speak the truth. And as such, I cannot remain silent. I will not. Ha! The truth, you say? Your mind has been poisoned by the barbed one. It was an honor and pleasure, Your Eminence. Must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child. After all, now if you would excuse us. Discipline coming from her. I don't like the sound of that at all. Ooh. Maybe it's Amara channeling her sister? I don't know. I don't know why that would happen. I feel like someone's channeling someone, like, super long term. Just don't know why or who or wow. Because it'd be cool, but eh. Well, Paul, let's head back to the safe house for now. Good idea. We need to go over what we've found and collect our thoughts. So check out on Edgeworth. Former Sodomati office. Surprised we walked up to the queen who's gonna try to kill us with like very little difficulty. Former Sadamati Law Office. Ah, you're back. Thank you for holding down the fort, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sorry it took so long. Hope you weren't too bored. I watched The Plume Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, while you were gone. My verdict is, it's an outrage, especially in its theme song. Even worse, the people here believe it's an original, Kurani's show. Can you believe it? I've already spoken to the link with Mr. Rebel, and not sure what he's blabbing about, but at least it seems he wasn't bored. Moving along to things that actually matter. We've gathered all about all the information and evidence we can concerning this case. I think it's time we go over everything we've learned so far. Ooh. Damn. Flash that badge like a pro now. With such confidence too, I can really feel it. Really? Sure, take Trucy's case, or that civil trial yesterday. You really came into your own during both of them. I feel my cheeks betraying me. You better not be thinking of starting your own firm, Apollo. What? No, of course not. I'm probably not ready for that anyway. Alright, let's talk. About Inga's murder. The Orb trial, Maya's abduction, and the murder of mastermind behind it all was Justice Minister Inga. A lot to consider. Think you have all the facts straight in your head? Ooh. Yeah, God. Some credence to my theory is we don't know how Dirk saw the Holy Mother then went blank. If he stopped being channeled and it was Amara in the tomb, like if Amara's channeling her and then he stopped, then yeah, it makes sense that Dirk blanked out. Ooh, that really explains it. Oh, I don't know. We'll keep thinking about it. It's a lot to consider. You think you have all the facts straight in your head? Yep, I've got it covered, Mr. Wright. It's the truth about what really went down that's going to be the problem. Yeah, it looks like the more we learn about this case, the less we understand. I agree. There's a deep darkness enveloping this case. I'm almost afraid of what we will find once we lift the black veil. Suffice to say, the real killer is certainly waiting underneath. Real killer, huh? That's the million-dollar question. Who killed Inga and why? Think, Apollo. Who would you say had a motive to commit this crime? I, for one, am drawing a complete blank. I want to know how the killer slipped into the tomb and killed Inga and slipped back out without ever being seen. That's a bona fide locked room mystery right there. Well, I've collected plenty of evidence and statements. I just hope the rest comes out in court. It'll be a thinner tightrope than usual, that's for sure. Presumably it was the Queen. But Naina was in there for reasons. Where's assassination? Oh. So Naina, there's something going on with her too. An age mystery. Secrets are also after Mr. Inga's death. Maybe this is Mara? I don't know. Inian? I don't know. They're reading the name backwards. There's any clue? Maybe like this is Amara somehow? I don't know. Weird that she's suddenly became relevant right at the end. For all this mysterious where's Amara stuff is. She was just kind of a gag before. It's like there's a big twist somewhere here. It's obvious the big twist isn't that the Queen's the murderer. Well, we'll just see how it goes. This case is one big fly in the ointment. In order to prove Dirk completely innocent, we'll also have to exonerate him of the crime committed 23 years ago. Mara's supposed assassination. Right, we know Amara's still alive, but Dirk could still be charged with plotting to kill her. We could discover the truth even after over 2 decades of investigating. So our biggest hurdle is going to be the complete lack of evidence. The fire made sure of that. Right, have you ever won a case without any evidence? No, that's one thing I've never done before. I mean, you went into trials without evidence. A lot of first cases, but No, you always use the evidence at the trial. Trial unprecedented even in the decorated annals of the Right Anything Agency. Still, I can't help but wonder, was there really no evidence left behind? Oh, we can't forget about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. Sure, if Dirk is found guilty and is sentenced to death, we'll likely join him in a very public execution. Yeah. Meet the charges or die. What kind of crazy upside down legal system is this anyway? Don't worry, I can't ask someone as young as you to risk your life, Athena. So tomorrow it'll just be me and Apollo on the courtroom floor. You can support us by watching from the gallery. What? No. I want to help. I'm part of the agency too, after all. Sorry, but this is a direct order from your boss. Plus, there's Prosecutor Blackquill to think of. They didn't use me for a sword practice if I put you in harm's way. Yeah, cause Simon. Well, at least promise me this, you two. Promise me you'll make it back alive. Make it back alive, huh? What's with that face, Apollo? You'll never inspire confidence in your client like that. It'll play right into the prosecution's hands. Remember, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're right. Even when it seems hopeless or when there's not a shred of evidence to be found, we can never let show on our faces, right? Will I actually be able to do that tomorrow? When push comes to shove, will I be able to force my biggest smile? To be continued. Save it up. All right, this is a big day. Day 2 trial, day 2. Trial, day 2. Trial, day 2. It's spelled like it. Man, are we gonna... Is there gonna be a day 3 to this? Like, we have the mystery of what happened back then, but I feel like it's gonna tie into what we're doing today, too. Like, I don't know if they can squeeze any more out of the third day. It's weird, because there hasn't been any 3-day trials so far. Yes, continue on. We've got plenty of hours ahead of us, at least 3. May 19th, 8:50 a.m. High Court of Kudain. All right. Here we go. Yeah, this is... Nice little interlude, I guess. These guards look different than the police guards. High Court of Kurin, accused lobby. Complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating for Dirk's freedom. I've taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. Look about ready to string us up if we lose. Trials here are pretty much like the ones back home, but with one major difference. The divination seance. Victim's final memories will become matter for deliberation. Heard about that. They haven't stopped you from winning your cases in here in Kurin. I guess if Dirk transformed back into Amara, if that's a thing, it would definitely probably come out in the seance. Probably not going to be that. I don't know. We'll see. It's still a long shot theory. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of the evidence. There's always a way to deal with them, even if you're always a way to deal with them if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but have one more big secret. Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. Dirk, what is that secret you're keeping? Hey, yeah, AJ. What's up, Dats? How'd you get in here? Here you go, just like I promised. Why are these guards arresting you? All right, we got it back. Thanks, Dats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday? Yep. And I spent the night in the slammer. Had a fine meal, shower, even a bed. What more could I ask for? That actually sounds way better than where we was staying. Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, we'll all probably be found guilty under the Defense Culpability Act too. Yeah, and he just said something to that effect. That witch Garon wants us to take advantage of today to crush the revolution once and for all. The fate of the revolution and every Kernese person rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ. We'll be fine. I'm going to win this one. You'll see. Where are you hiding the orb? You got sent to prison and they didn't find it. I guess you gotta hit it somewhere else. The trial will begin shortly, Apollo. Make our way into the courtroom. Right. Let's get it going. May 19th, High Court of Kulen. Hey, Judge. Let the trial of Dirk Satamati begin. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Majesty. Right, Majesty. It's been a while. It's good to hear that. It's really come down to this. Well, don't expect me to hold anything back, Nahuta. This trial will examine both the murder of Justice Mr. Inga Karkul Kurain and the assassination of the former Queen Amara Sigartar Kurain. First, I believe we should address the murder of Minister Inga. Would that be acceptable, Prosecutor Satamati? Prosecutor Satamati? Yes, of course. Please proceed. What's with them? Very unlike you, Prosecutor. Is your mind so elsewhere this day? Not at all, Your Majesty. Are you really going to be able to go through with this, Nahuta? Well, Prosecutor Satamati, I would be remiss if I failed to voice a concern of mine. I've heard mention that you are son to the accused, Dirk Satamati. You have heard true. Does that fact pose some sort of problem, Your Majesty? Father being prosecuted by his own son? One possibly deliberate such a case without having personal feelings intervene? Yes, without question. Yeah, sure. Can he really handle this? Even if Prosecutor Satamati is going against his own father, is just... Couldn't the son of a criminal even be a prosecutor? Oh my god. Dirk. Fellow citizens, you do well not to underestimate my son. He's not one to allow personal feelings to interfere with the execution of his duty. Isn't that right, Nahuta? I will not stop till my work here is done. See, so all you doubters, just sit back down before you trip over your own stupidity. Ha 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 ha. The accused will not take the stand without first being summoned. In any case, Prosecutor Satamati has no issue with this arrangement. So let's commence the deliberations. Who's that? One moment, if you would. Your Eminence. Your Eminence, what brings you here? Ooh, she's on his desk. Magistrate? It appears that Prosecutor Satamati does indeed have some reservations. No, that's not true. Do you truly believe you could deceive me, Nahuta Satamati? One should hold no reservation if one is to stand on these hallowed funerary grounds. I have none, Your Eminence. No, it is clear we cannot leave this matter to you. Yeah. You shall handle the prosecution of enemy of the Crown Dirk Satamati personally. What if we swapped out prosecutors at the last moment? It was, well, we did it for, I guess we've done it in a lot of games, actually. Let's set up the new ones. I think the first and second one, like the first one's the real trip up when you fight Manfred Valkarma. Then you fight Edgeworth in the second one at the end. But I think all the prosecutors after that, you're fighting the same people. Yeah, you are. You're fighting the same prosecutors and the rest for the rest of them. So this is like, it's nice seeing Edgeworth in the second game, but this feels like more of a Manfred kind of moment. Although greatest attorney, weird, they swapped out the judge. That was kind of interesting too. To handle the prosecution of the enemy of the crown, Dirk Satamati personally, remain by our side and bear witness to how a true prosecutor enforces the law. Excuse me, but is the Queen going to prosecute the case? Is that, you know, kosher or legal? There's no need for concern. Before we were crowned clean, we served as a prosecutor. Really? As a foreigner, your ignorance can be excused, but know this. Prosecutor in charge of the Queen Amara assassination case 23 years ago was none other than Her Eminence, Queen Garan Digatar Kurain. Okay, well, first your majesty, and now this. Why doesn't anyone tell me these things? I heard she's served as the Minister of Justice, but she was also a prosecutor? Guessing she probably moved up the ladder from prosecutor to justice minister. Prosecuted that case 23 years ago, but no verdict was ever rendered. We had one guilty verdict in every case until then, for no lawyer could stand up to us. I'm at a loss for words. To think I would once more bear witness to Her Eminence's at work in the Hall of Justice. Our first trial in 23 years. No quarter shall be given to criminals. We shall prosecute them with all our might. Again, that we. It just might be a way quirk of her speaking, but it makes me think, maybe that spirit channeling thing is true, and maybe she does have powers. I want to see. Oh, wow. Huh. Sure, that's an outfit. Oh, what magnificent sight! Queen's attire from her prosecutor days. I think we would. Oh my God, get to witness it. What the? That's Queen Garan. Talk about an extreme makeover. It's all coming back now. The feel of my blood pumping through my veins. Okay, she dropped the wee stuff. Woe to you, O enemies of Kurin, for I shall personally slice dice and grind you up into hog feed. Okay, well, she's basically a completely different person now. I don't suppose I can ask her to roll back to her polite pre-makeover personality. She wasn't that polite. Know this, lawyer. Yes? Now that I stand as prosecutor, consider your defense bench a headsman's scaffold. If you wish to leave any last words, I advise you start thinking of them now. But you still have a head to which to think, that is. Meep. She's dead serious. No, it's time for the divination seance. Rafa, come forth. Alright, let's see what we got. Your benevolence, thank you for gracing us with your presence. I feel like this is not going to be the only divination seance we do during this trial, though. Your benevolence, I understand it may be difficult for you, but maybe we proceed with the divination seance? Yes, let us proceed. Forgive me for asking, but are you feeling physically unwell? So I would advise you to avoid any undue exertion. Your benevolence? What's wrong? It's like her mind's anywhere but here. Lots happened since yesterday. On top of the murder of her beloved father, she found out that he'd been planning a coup. Today she'll have to experience his death through his own eyes. Yeah, that would be enough to shake anyone up. Still, seems like she's worse off today than she was yesterday. Presumably she's already done the divination seance because the prosecutor gets to review it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember her being this depressed. I must speak with our child. Mother duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Wait. Ron didn't do something to her, did she? Your Eminence, about today's divination seance. Understand it, the prosecution has yet to review the content. Ooh. Is this deviation from protocol as part of your plan? Prosecutor Satamati, would you care to explain your actions? Your Eminence, the accused was caught at the scene of the crime. Therefore, I deem no seance would be necessary for such a clear-cut case. You and your bleeding heart. You seek to spare Rafa the trauma of witnessing her father's death. Hand movements. But it's very, like, what was it, Morgan? She normally does it with two hands, does it with the one. These are always kind of cool. I feel like the hand, whenever you see hand flex or movements like this in games, it's always flexing by the artist. Is that why you have done this? Not at all. You were concerned for me, Prosecutor Sadamati? It's oddly compassionate of him, of all things considered. Your Eminence, your Majesty, regardless of what is best for her benevolence, this case is blessed with a bounty of incontrovertible evidence. I believe we could reach a swift verdict without devoting precious time to a seance. You have a point. Personally, I would like to spare her benevolence any undue misery. Experiencing the murder of a loved one is a burden to no one should have to bear. Prosecutor Sadamati, your Majesty, can this trial truly proceed without a divination seance? Can't blame her for not wanting to experience her father's murder firsthand. Your Eminence, what are your feelings on the matter? Do we have her benevolence return home for some much-needed rest? We shall not. Yeah, I was wondering if they're going to put it off, because potentially this divination seance could change everything, but I don't think it's going to. Seems like we're going to have it now, and it's going to be seeing Dirk or something. We'll get there. You fool spoil her with your feckless words of compassion. Ugh. Listen well, Rafa. You've spoken time and time again about how grown up you are now. Yes, but let us see if the royal priestess has truly come into her own. Be prepared to fulfill your duty and perform the divination seance as you should. Yes. That's better. See? Problem solved. Poor Rafa, is this really a good idea? Guess we'll see. Very well, let us begin. Divination seance. If the queen is behind it, she should already know what's in the seance, basically, right? Nana, my robe. Still missing. Oh! Looks like Nana's still missing. She's still locked in that sarcophagus, right? It's been a whole day already. Barbed head. Yes? You remove my robe. What? But why me? Don't keep her benevolence waiting now, Mr. Wright. Can't you see she's ready to begin? Also, we got Phoenix on as our assistant, which is weird. Well, I guess actually it's not that weird. That's like kind of a callback to Apollo Justice, the first case. Well, I think it was in there with the fourth case too, but it's a callback to the starting point of the Apollo Justice series. It's kind of a neat. Great, I've been reduced to royal robe remover. Like she's grooming Mr. Wright to be Nana's replacement. Very well, your benevolence. Please start when you are ready. Yeah. Come, Rafa, you know what must be done. There is no turning back now. I know. Final memories of the deceased. This should be interesting. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna get?
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Alright. This animation, probably, again, like I said, probably gonna see this one more time too later on. We call back to what happened 23 years ago. From somebody. Don't know who. I guess maybe there's, you know, I talked about, okay, Mars not dead. The sarcophagus is probably empty, but what if there's a different body in there? Maybe, probably not, right? It's probably just gonna be Nana in there, and the sarcophagus is gonna be empty. Like, I'm trying to think, we might... Maybe we're gonna channel Apollo's dad? That would be weird, though. We don't know his name, but we know his face. The picture helps us with that. That's weird, because they're hiding the name. It's like, just like the Holy Mother, you know, okay, the fact that his name's not known is important. It has to be important because that's how you channel him. So wait and see. All right. Well, how much are we going to see? Are we going to see Dirk? Are we going to see just the floor? Would Inga even think to falsify his divination seance? No idea. It's not going to be Amara. I don't think we're going to see Amara. Like, I don't want to... If that theory's true, I don't think they would, you know, blow the lid off of it that soon. Because if we see Amara in that temple, it's going to be a whole thing. All right. Also, I don't think the Garon would want to show it if Mara's in there. Uh-oh. Ha! Ah. Puff, puff. Pass. Well, your benevolence. What's wrong? This is unacceptable. Bailiff, take your benevolence to the first aid station at once. This is not good. All right, well, I guess we're not getting a divination seance. Your Eminence, do you have any idea why her benevolence collapsed so suddenly? Seems she was not ready for what the deceased was to reveal. It overwhelmed her, but she can do it too, right? Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. I know someone who's not winning Mother of the Year, ever. I mean, of course Rafe was going to be overwhelmed. She's still just a child. Again, this is also kind of, how terrible she is kind of evidence that Amara might be Rafa's real mother. Like, she doesn't care about her because she's Amara's child. It's not great evidence, but it might be. Means we have no choice but to move on to the witness testimony. Your Majesty? Oh yes, let us proceed. Okay, she's not going to do it. Bailiff, summon the first witness if you would. Okay, so they are holding it off, which means my theory might be true. This is... Oh, Dirk. Yeah, I guess he's a witness. This is not the accused. It is indeed. I thought I would give him the opportunity to plead his case. For true, justice is more an unilateral presentation than the facts by the prosecution. But for true justice is more than unilateral presentation of facts by the prosecution. Okay, guess, whatever. That seems uncharacteristically fair for her. Yeah, that's why I was tripped up. I thought she was gonna... She's like, oh yeah, let's give their side of the story. We need to hear hers too. However, should the accused fail to produce convincing testimony, he, along with his cabal of traitorous lawyers, shall immediately be found guilty. I don't think you get to decide that. The judge gets to decide that. But then whatever. She's the queen, I guess. The problem, because he says he doesn't remember anything, their heads will roll from their shoulders. What? Should have known there was a catch. Your court, your rules, same as it always was, I see, Goran. Now then, Mr. Dirk Sotomati, if you could enlighten us to what happened. Well, I would if I could. It's gonna be the worst testimony ever. Dirk explains himself. I was struck by a sudden dizziness the moment I entered the tomb. Next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand. Lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail. No recollection of what happened in the interim. But I didn't kill him. At least, I don't think I did. It'd go against everything I believe in. Cool, awesome. That didn't explain squat. For the record, I let it be known that the accused fingerprints were all over the murder weapon. And since he was caught in the act, there was no chance for the third party to tamper with it. Well, that certainly seems to point the finger at you, Mr. Satomati. Even as a lawyer, I have to agree with you there, Your Majesty. Ha! Seriously, Dirk, this is no laughing matter. This is exactly what Garon wanted. Have Dirk try to plead his case only to fail miserably. Yeah. How low can she go? Prosecutor, behold this most unpleasant of spectacles and let it be etched into your soul. Yet instead of accepting the inevitable, those fish-brained lawyers flounder and flop themselves straight into the abyss of despair. Yes, Your Eminence, show me the way. Now then, will the defense please begin their cross-examination? Again, I talked about making sure you feel a prosecutor, you know, like their impact on the case, and they're not just they're saying, like, pointing out lies or like just kind of just throwing up the basic defenses. This feels like immediately this feels like something we should do. She comes in with like, oh, this is a good thing, but she knows it's secretly evil or awful. Like, she knows how bad his like explanation is. I was struck by a sudden dizziness of the moment I entered the tomb.
Hold it!
You were struck by a sudden dizziness? Was it because of his illness? Is that something that has ever happened to you before? Can't say that it has. Maybe age is catching up with me. I'm no spring chicken after all. That's not the issue here. Most cunning excuse, one befitting an insidious insurgent. Oh? Killer who does not recall his crime. Oh, very convenient. Next I imagine you will plead insanity. Can you plead insanity in this courtroom? Does the law allow that here? You aim to seek the lesser sentence through excuses and subterfuge, do you not?
Objection!
Don't make me laugh, your malevolence. Also, that was his objection. Malevolence. How dare you? I'm merely stating my innocence. I have no intention of offering excuses. Your baseless speculation I would decry as foolish. You deceitful witch. Wow, you just said it. Garon, is it your wish that I should claim your head right now in this very hall? Well, that would certainly speed things along.
Hold it!
Dirk, why don't you let me handle it from here? If there's anything you need to say, you can say it through me, okay? Anything to stop you from needling the queen. Next time you have an objection, you better have some proof to go with it, Dirk. The accused will continue what he does recall of the crime. Eesh, they're gonna be long. Next thing I knew, I was standing there with a bloody knife in my hand.
Hold it!
Do you recall anyone putting the knife in your hand, Dirk? Wish I could say I did, but I don't remember a thing from before I came to. I think there might have been a third party in the tomb, son. Yeah, because if you didn't do it, then the real killer must have been there with you.
Objection!
It's your objection too. Ooh. You called, Your Eminence? Did you go anywhere without those goons? Was there a third party in the tomb when you were securing it? No, Your Eminence, we searched it high and low, but found none of the sort. No one of the sort. And there you have it. Oh, right, they did search the place. Furthermore, my guards had the entire tomb surrounded, so there was no way for anyone to escape. That's right, no one got in or out without our knowledge. Your Eminence's on-site directives were absolutely flawless. Harg. You see now, the presence of a third party is beyond the realm of possibility. The tomb was, for all intents and purposes, completely sealed off from the rest of the world. What a waste of time. Not gonna be any more obvious. Dirk must have been the killer. Thanks for nothing, gallery guy. As if our graves weren't already deep enough. Hughes, what do you believe about the possible presence of a third party? Well, based on the situation you presented, say that the chances are slim to none. Although we know it's not true. You didn't have to agree with her, Dirk. Oh, actually, let me do this. So we save ourselves from embarrassment that I did last time. Let's go over our evidence real quick. Picture of him. We've seen that. In his autopsy report, time of death approximately 3 p.m. Blood loss from the stab wound in his back. Back is the important part. That diagram shows the broken statue, the chair where Maya was being held, the chair with a table that's not on here that I guess Ingo was waiting at. I guess he had to come in and stab him here if he didn't realize it. And what's this about? No, the gunfire. Yeah, the gunfire indicates that he did realize Dirk was there. There was some kind of struggle. Then phone's gonna be important. Out of everything we know, like, okay, this shows his gun, the weapon on the ground, but that was after Dirk was taken away. The phone, that's important. They tried to contact someone at the last moments. Yeah, this also indicates a struggle. Baked in soot. It was found in the incense burner. Yeah, I think this just indicates a struggle. This indicates someone else's presence. Dirk recognizes it, claims it's his, but it's not his. It seems to belong to Dirk. Like, it's got the picture in again, which means it belongs to Amara. This is the thing that really indicates, hey, there's a third party. Someone cleaned up the blood. It wasn't Dirk. We found him standing over the body. Painkiller shots, medication Inga used for his back pain to make pain disappear. He had back pain. He's got notepad characteristics. Right, this is the thing that makes, like, sounds like he's sending instructions for impersonation. Photo we've been looking at all this time. Supposedly her channeling, of the channeling right. I'll be claiming she transformed right after this, but I'm not sure. This is a different outfit than she normally wears, even for her. What is it? Yeah, the collar. Well, actually, wait, hold on a minute. Bowl with diamonds. That no, wait, actually, is it? No, I don't think it. It's a different outfit than the one Nina's wearing. That's more similar to that than the actual one she was. I think we saw in here before. I just got leaped out of a manhole, got yelled at by a dog in Warbad, then threw a firecracker. Then the shocked look on Albie's face had dots and stitches. When the police came along, detained the rebel. The noise spook Shadu ran off when Albie caught up with him. Where Shadu had what looked to be not Nina's hand. Right, we had found that. It was around 2 p.m. Permanent. Right. So the mark and the Defense Culpability Act. If we need to prove the presence that Nanya was probably somewhere near the courtyard at 2 p.m., this is the evidence for it. This is going to be important. Arson incident involved Amara's private residence. Amara was slipped a sleeping pill in comparison to the fire. How did they know this? How did they know this part about the sleeping pill? I found the scene had Dirk's fingerprints on it. It might have just been his lighter. Caught up in this incident. Lost his life. Was struck in the head by a culprit. How do they know this? Did they look at his charred corpse, I guess? Huh. Overall family. It did the sin of the father. Okay, so yeah, this is important for Rafa. Probably, if it's gonna be anything else. And it is badge. Dragon never yields. Founder's form has appeared within orbs. Since the queen only knows the founder's real name. Interesting. All right, you didn't have to agree with her, Dirk. Let the accused statement be added to his testimony. Very well, Mr. Sodomati, if you would. Like the more we press, the thinner our case gets. Let's keep pressing, and maybe we'll work out the wrinkles in it too. So we know this is going to be the statement. We put the possibility of a third party being there in the tomb is probably non-existent. No, we know that's not true, but let's just keep pressing. We can't prove you innocent without at least the possibility that a third party was there. Find the possible and the impossible, son. That's just what a lawyer's gotta do sometimes. Is that right? Right. Who, me? Yeah, you could say that. I've seen more than my fair share of trials like that. They start with no viable evidence, useful testimony, or any hope of winning. Through cold sweat, desperation, and a little luck, I always manage to pull them off. Right? I can see why we are kindred spirits, you and I. Jeez, taking cases like that must shave years off your life. If that were true, I'd be long dead. Find the possible and the impossible. Can I prove that it was at least possible that there was a third party there? Dirk, what did you see at the scene of the crime? Let's see, I came to... And lying right in front of me was Inga, dead as a doornail.
Hold it!
He stated that he was as dead as a doornail. How can you be so sure? It's pretty easy to spot the difference between a soulless man and the soulless shell of a man. The complexion and the amount of blood at the scene made it obvious which it was. Humph, watch your words or you shall join Minister Inga much sooner than expected. You can bow your head before him and seek his forgiveness there in the Twilight Realm. If you still have a head to bow, that is. You bloodthirsty spider. What happened to you? There was still a little love in your heart 23 years ago. You even used to think of me as a brother. Seems you truly do have a death wish. Is that really all you've got? Dirk, I'm begging you. Enough of the lip. Just deliver your testimony. Please. Alright, I tried, but I can't promise anything. I have no recollection of what happened in the interim.
Hold it!
Why? Days passed since the murder. Haven't you remembered anything in that time? My memory is a complete blank. It's as if that part of my brain has been scooped right out. Oh, very convenient. But even if you have no memory of the event, your guilt is without question. There's nothing more to debate. You're forgetting one thing, Goran. I have no motive. You lead about an insurgence that seeks to overthrow the government. I'd say that alone is motive enough to slay our kingdom's Minister of Justice. I declared countless times that I lead a bloodless revolution. Forbid violence and murder, even if some younger members may have the thirst for blood. Bloodless revolution? He wouldn't really have a motive in that case. Is that an important statement? It might be. Huh. That was an important statement. I'd like my client to add it to his testimony. Very well then. The accused will please do as the defense has requested. Interesting, because we know the third party thing at the other area. I don't have a motive for killing Inga. After all, me and my ilk seek bloodless revolution.
Hold it!
Bloodless revolution? Could you be more specific? Talking about dragging this pompous prosecutor here off her bloody throne. So go ahead, Goran, act all high and mighty now because it's the last chance he'll get. You still speak of rebellion despite the spark charges against you. You truly are a fool. I'll prove your guilt soon enough and display your head for all in Kuran to see. People will forever speak of you, not as a revolutionary, but as a terrorist you are. You're mistaken, your maleficence. It'll be you the people speak of, as the tyrant who was overthrown by your own people. I wonder if you will still be spewing such nonsense before the headsman's axe. She does love decapitation, doesn't she? I'm afraid I'll still be like this in the afterlife, despot. I know that self-restraint is as foreign to as apple pie to Dirk, but I'd really rather go home than the Twilight Realm after this. But I didn't kill him. At least I don't think I did. I'd go against everything I believe in.
Hold it!
Can you state that you didn't kill him more definitively? How can I when I have no memory of what happened? Well, can you at least state whether or not you are a murderer? That I can do. I'm not a murderer, and I would never kill anyone, no matter the circumstances.
Objection!
Do you have any evidence to support your claim that you did not kill the minister? Evidence? No, can't say I do. In that case, You will strike that statement, "I didn't kill him," from your testimony. Wait, you can't just discard testimony like that. I mean, I'm the one who cross-examining the defendant and all. Hold your prattling tongue, you foreign devil. I'm the queen of this kingdom. Oh, hey. And the queen is the law. As such, I need not follow the laws that are in place. I can make and break them at my will. At will. Henceforth, the accused will refrain from stating, "I didn't kill him." What? Sure, whatever. The Garon show, after all. Same as always. So I guess there's no evidence that proves I didn't kill him either. Oh, did that remove the statement? Yeah, it did. Interesting. I don't know if that's ever happened. Has the statement been ever removed from the same testimony?
Hold it!
Dirk, leave the evidence finding to me. Now please, will you stop agreeing with everything the prosecution says? Alright, I'll stick to the facts from now on. Remember, son, if you truly believe in me, you should be able to prove my innocence. I know you can do it. Believes I'll prove him innocent. Even with all these inconvenient truth. Oh my god, the yawns again. Is that what he's saying? I think Dirk might be onto something. Even the most disadvantageous facts may point the way to the truth. So don't ignore them. Think of them as food for thought. Don't worry, I know. The worst of times are when the lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You need to remember that, no matter how difficult the facts may be to deal with. Only we can establish the possibility of a third party. Does the possibility itself even exist? We don't have a choice. Proving it exists is the only way to start a real dialogue here. Alright, so it's interesting we opened up different possibilities here. Or like different dialogues, or new parts of his testimony. But it feels like possibility, this is the one we want to press. This is like the strongest evidence we have. For the other ones, I don't think we have much evidence to support it. Maybe? Oh, let's save. See how this goes. This has got to be the strongest. Oh.
Objection!
Your evidence? I'm afraid this trial will not go exactly as you anticipated. Because I can show how there might have been a third party in that tomb. Oh, how very fascinating. Go on. I do so love a good fairy tale. We did a luminol test at the crime scene. We found a blood stain that did not match the Justice Minister's blood. Remind you that neither Dirk nor Miss Faye were injured during the incident. Thing is, this bloodstain we found had been wiped up by someone. What's this but? Who would have done such a thing? That's the big question, isn't it? Who wiped up the blood and why? Thinking about it logically, it must be someone who wanted to conceal their presence at the scene of the crime. Oh, and who do you suppose this bloodstain might belong to? Or might belong? Bloodstain belongs to... the real killer. Bloodstain belongs to the real killer, of course. Whoever it was, they were probably shot while they were attacking Mr. Inga. And since their blood would give them away, they had to wipe it up. I say this because we know for a fact that just Mr. fired his gun in the tomb. You have the memory of a flea. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. This, too, is a known fact. But a bloodstain from a third party means there must have been someone hiding there. Very well, then tell me this. Where was this third party hiding? Oh, it's the only place he could hide, Apollo. Crime scene was thoroughly searched after it was discovered. If there was a hiding place, it would have to be somewhere where no one would dare look. Somewhere where no one would dare look. We know, like, the blood's leading there. This is not hard to figure out. Let's have your answer, defense. The work of the third party have hidden. Bam. I didn't even move it. There's one place no one would search, not even the Queen's Royal Guard, and that would be inside Queen Amara's sarcophagus. Even now, it's locked up tight. No one will find you if you're hidden there. I'm told that it's temperature controlled to preserve the mummy within. If someone dressed warmly enough, they could withstand the cold for a short time. This is sacrilege. Surely the perpetrator of such foul deed would be cursed. But that's just it. The killer knew everyone would be too scared to open the sarcophagus. Sure, the guards were so scared of being cursed they wouldn't even touch it. When the coast was clear, the killer made a quick escape from within their frigid confines. Well now, that does sound like a plausible method of evading capture. The defense requests a DNA test on the bloodstain, and we'll see who the real killer is.
Such insolence!
Oh hey. Assuming that's your objection, bow your head and kneel, lawyer. So your head may be parted from your shoulders. Yeah, we found out what her fetish is. It's not the weird outfit it is. But the trial's not even over. Ooh, she does the gale attack. How soon you forget, you are already on the headsman's scaffold. As such, I can order your beheading at any moment. All I did was request a DNA test. There's no need to request such a test. Beauregard, bring it forth now. Here you are, your eminence. Police have already identified the source of the bloodstain. The DNA test revealed the blood is of the traitor Dirk Sodomati. What? But Dirk wasn't injured, so where did his blood come from? Maybe he coughed it up? Dirk's illness. So there's a lot of blood. Could they have really coughed up that much? Did he wipe it up to hide his failing health? Dirk, is it really that bad? Ah, shoot, you got me. What? Really? Here's bloodstain update in the court. Well, when did he do this? Pay attention, horrid devil, for this case has already been solved. Claiming this bloodstain would lead us to the real killer, did you not? About that. Did you or did you not make that claim of your own volition, defense? Yes, I did. Actually, she steered you in that direction, that is. Arg! Oh, right into her trap. Do you see now the folly in opposing the very embodiment of the law? What we say or do shall come to no avail. Third party at the scene of the crime? It's beyond the realm of possibility. No! Praise being for Queen Garan. Our eminence's legal tactics are beyond compare. Hate to say this, but she really got us good. Kingdom Mara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for someone to some knave to open it. Can I really discount the sarcophagus as a hiding place, though? Let's just open it up anyway. What if the real killer is still in there? No, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I believe you have rebels and sympathizers in the gallery today. So it is to you I speak. Have you been listening, Dirk Sodomati, the one who proclaimed a bloodless revolt? Has betrayed your cause by resorting to murder. No, it can't be. Dirk would never. It must be some kind of mistake. Lion dragons and their sympathizers are starting to have doubts. This is why Garan allowed us to cross-examine Dirk. Establishing his guilt in Inga's murder, he's effectively damaged his reputation among those who support him. True, but now we have an even bigger problem. Now, 50 lawyers, you will honor your end of the bargain. Accept your guilty verdict for your failure to explain your client's actions. Gulp. Huh? Now I shall pass judgment upon the criminal Dirk Sodomati. What's this? You shall pass judgment? But your eminence, is that not my role? Hold your tongue. You're but a figurehead before me, the embodiment of law. Consider yourself dismissed. Let that happen, Judge. As Queen of Kuran, I shall not pass judgment upon the accused. Surprised too. I hope Rafa's coming back with that divine seance.
Objection!
Objection. Wait. You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. I know when you are a defeated lawyer. could have said that earlier, Apollo, but just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo. Even if you have to bluff, we've got to keep this trial going. Show her that the crime could have been committed by a third party. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. What if that's not true? Like, if our assumptions are all wrong? Might just work. Well, don't keep us waiting, defense. Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. There's another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. Question before us is, when was Mr. Inga really killed? No, it's not after the body was found. The body's been discovered. No. I mean, it's possible. Weren't we shoved out? Like, what happened? Did we get shoved out of the tomb by the royal guard? It'd been before Dirk entered the tomb. I mean, that's just the most likely. After Dirk entered the tomb is not. That's exactly what it was, the same thing. I think it's before Dirk entered the tomb. Isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Mr. Inga was already dead? That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. What's the autopsy report? Approximately 3 p.m. But who did this autopsy report? Why, of course! I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to his body from the entrance. Which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. Right, that is something I noticed during the investigation yesterday. We didn't notice the body outline until we moved the camera around. And we were standing in a position... Yeah, it was right here. The sarcophagus blocks the view. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make sense. Before it's so good, this might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. Also, yeah, it's dawned on me that those extra dialogues or testimony we added in that first cross-examination were just dupes. It's like they're more elaborate traps. Like, they know your habits. Like, oh, something I add to the testimony, it's got to be important. So no, they're working against you on this. Starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes. Let's hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rafa. Surely she has recovered by now. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? Hey, Rafa. Hope you're feeling better, your benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time. How could my testimony be of any value? Your benevolence? This Rafa seems awfully depressed. For what she's been through, summoning her again is likely rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. Hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadamati, may I ask you something? Of course, your benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Do you know about Queen Amara? Oh wow, she just said it. And about me? Ah, so that, okay, there's... Where did you hear such a thing? That's kind of the proof there, right? He's the child of Queen Amara. From Mother. And only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be that as it may, your benevolence, it has no bearing upon the trial here today. There's no need to let it trouble you. I know. Ron told Rafa about something other than Amara's status? Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rafa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. You prepared to do what is required of you? Yes, I'm ready to testify. Very well, your benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. Alright, before we start this one, I'm gonna get some more tea. We'll be back in a minute. Way right here. Alright, I'm back. Not forgetting to take that off this time. What Rafa witnessed. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. Bloop, bloop. About 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. Saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered about 2:30. The second floor veranda. Oh, she must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. Right, so that's the location from which you saw your father. And at about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence. We know that she saw the dog, too. After the minister entered Amara's tomb around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered. Tomb is closed to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. It rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Or so she'd like us to believe. Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease the charade and bow before me. For our queen of Gran shall finally have your head. Ugh. Forgive me, your eminence, but first let us allow the defense to question the witness. We'll lose your head too, Judge, by helping us out. Going against your queen. What Rafa witnessed. And we know she's probably not lying. About the courtyard for my second floor veranda. You say you've been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? It seems like an awfully long time. There's much that weighs on my mind. I see. He really does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. It's like weird. We haven't seen Maya in quite a bit. Things like how you keep your people happy and what is true and what is false. She's in the hospital recovering, right? But we get to see her before the trial's over. Most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task. This is not easy being a princess. Your benevolence? You have to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk. Humph, what would you know of my woes? I presume to exceed your station in life. Jeez, teenagers. Your benevolence, what did you witness from your veranda? Well, at 2:30 p.m. I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb.
Hold it!
Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. It was? Yes, a shriek emanated within my father's quarters. After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual color. He screamed and was looking pale? What do you suppose happened? I know not. Perhaps he had a bad dream. Maybe it was a nightmare about being raked over the coals by the queen. Seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten his journey to the Twilight Realm. Sorry, that was rude of me. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I would like the witness to add it to her testimony. Wow, we don't get to say in this. My father let out a scream, and I came dashing out of his room, his face pale.
Hold it!
And why do you think he was screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? I didn't see anyone else, just my father. That was that last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Did I pressure on this? Softly. Your benevolence. Yes? This incident was a real shock to us all. Must have been really terrible for you, but I want to let you know, I know how you feel. Please stop, you presume too much. It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off things. How about we all go on a picnic together or something? I need no sympathy from you. Go on your little picnic alone, hornhead. Well, that didn't go well. Hollow, you have to take more aggressive approach with people like her. Yeah, he's probably right. Now, back to my testimony. Alright, we can come back to that. Let's press the rest of the statements. About 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company into the courtyard.
Hold it!
2:45, yes, I believe that's around when we arrived. Mr. Wright and Athena Dirk and I were running toward the tomb. Yes, I was taken aback as we don't normally see commoners in the palace courtyard. Even more shocking was that of Dirk. That Dirk, a wanted man, was with you. Yeah, I suppose so. I thought the villainous leader of the Defiant Dragons was here with his minions. Because it was, time for a revolution. I think you've been watching too much of that TV show. I've already banned its broadcast for containing content unsuitable for our kingdom. Besides, the actress playing Rayfa looked nothing like her. Can't have my subjects feeling so disappointed when they see the real Rayfa. Yeah, I figured it's kind of touchy to represent the queen or the princess in this case. Like, you'd have to be really picky about that. I'm surprised they did it. Mother, why are you so cruel to me? Are you so ashamed? Once I'm all grown up, I'll be just as full-figured as that actress. Jeez. We're placing all our hopes on one final growth spurt. For her sake, I hope it's in her DNA. Suppose you can always hope for a miracle. Oh, I'll show you. I shall double my milk. Oh my god. Grow up big and strong. There, you benevolence. I think you are fine the way you are. Now, may I ask you to continue with your testimony? I wish I could grow up faster. I'm not gonna have fun looking up fan art for this game after I'm done, am I? saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered about 2:30.
Hold it!
Is it possible you missed seeing someone pass through? No, my veranda has a commanding view of the entire grounds. I saw no one else. But that doesn't seem right somehow. Do not underestimate my daughter. She may be lacking elsewhere. Her eyes are the finest. Lacking elsewhere? Talk about a mother I'd never wish on my worst enemy. Needs Nina more than ever. Father let out a scream and ran outside all pale-faced? That sounds pretty serious. What do you suppose happened in his private quarters? Had to be a phone call, right? Let's press harder on that statement.
Hold it!
Why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? We also know that she never brought up the dog. I didn't see anyone else, just my father. Last statement was seriously lacking conviction. Harshly. Slam the desk. Boom. Your benevolence. Let's have some details. The more, the better. Details, you say? Yes, for example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Well, is that a yes or a no? Eek. Foreign devil, I've been grazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday, and I saw none other than my father. Only if I had stopped him then. I think you've struck a nerve, or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I presented it a little too hard. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony, your benevolence. Alright. Only one I saw. Okay. Oops. Well, we can press it too. I was gonna go to present. Is the royal residence always so empty? Naturally, it is where the royal family lives, and we are few in number. Besides Nina and the little birds who visit, I have no one else to talk to. Is there anything more stereotypically princessy than talking to birds? But Nina was also a way to say you have no friends. Nina wasn't around at all yesterday. I think she was quite busy. Was all alone the entire day. It's been like that a lot lately. Rifa doesn't go to school, so she probably doesn't have any close friends. Just lead a rather solitary life. This being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be. Rifa, I shall buy you a new servant. I don't want you to buy me a new servant like some sort of pet. I want Nina. Beginning to see why Rifa turned out like she did. Your benevolence, please tell us about what happened after you saw your father. Alright. Well, it was around 2:30 when I saw him heading for the tomb. Let's go back. I think we have... And... Oh, always statement. It's not her. I thought she might have attested that... attested to the fact that she saw too. It was like she did, but we don't have evidence of it. But we can present this.
Objection!
Your benevolence? You're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. That. Sorry, Rifa, but you're not going to you're not going to like this. Oh, no, you're not going to like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. From a witness who claims that around 2 p.m. his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone. That's Nina's. I mean, nothing. Never mind. Very subtle. Like pulling the wool over my eyes. You fool of a daughter. Excuse me. The princess has made a blunder. So let me get this straight. This Nina's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. So if so, then you had seen Nina sometime after 2 p.m. yesterday. Oh no! Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. Ugh. Because as you say, horned head, I saw Nina. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why didn't you say so in the first place? Because my mother told me not to. What? Shocker. Would you care to explain yourself? Your imminent explain your imminent? Oh my god, your imminence. I request that you withhold said information for it. It is no relevance to this case.
Objection!
Bull. We'll decide what's relevant. You don't get to decide.
Insolence!
You disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh, I will. Your benevolence, please tell us everything that you witnessed when you saw Nana. All right. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nana, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait, that means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. Yes, but only for a moment. How long is a moment? This is crucial testimony. You took your eyes off the courtyard. It means somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Ah, your benevolence. Are you sure no one else was there? Oh, yes. He's hiding something again. What about Nana? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nana was gone. Gone? Yes, and I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled it up. No, I seriously doubt that. How could Nana simply disappear while Rafa wasn't looking? Rafa must know something. The only question is what? Where Nana is, because she has to disappear into the tomb. Has to be that. Do you have any idea where Nana disappeared to? What do you mean? Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb, and it just so happens that Nana disappeared right at that moment. No! Wait, you think Nana had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. Sounds like something had kept Nana occupied since the early morning. Well, she was seen right after, before the murder, and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rafa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the house grounds. Could Rafa's attendant really be the killer? That would mean... First my father and now Nana. These were the people I trusted most. How could this be?
Objection!
Humph, do not heed their lies. Lawyers are foul breed, quick to claim that the third party is to blame for a crime. I do that a lot, but it's always true. Every single time. Nana did not enter the tomb, that much is certain. How can you be so sure? When Nana's hat was stolen, the crazed curse spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rafa? Yes, it is. While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nana's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. If she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But only the shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga. Huh? Then... That's right, Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Don't we have the footprints from inside the guys at Inga's thing? Doesn't look like it. There were footprints in Inga's that looked like not like his, because they were coming into the apartment and we knew what kind of, I said apartment, whatever his little dwelling is. They came in after the water was spilled. And probably after he left, someone came into his place. Right, Nana never did go into the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters. Okay, there. It's probably true. How do you know? Quite simple. Shoeprints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoeprints that belonged to Nana. That's right, Edgeworth and I did see some shoeprints in there. Hey, but she entered but never came out. Now do you understand? Nana could not possibly have gone into the tomb. That supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination. Arg! Another glorious detection. All hail the genius that is her eminence, Queen Galan. Bow down before her glory, witless lawyer. Are those guys fanboy any harder? Was it really true? Did Nana not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but to right? Your benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nana? I believe it was about 2:15 p.m. I see. Although, if Nana entered the Inga's private quarters around 2:15, and Inga came racing out around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then... Ah, I know what you're getting at. Yeah, I thought so. This happened before all that stuff. And, like, it makes sense if Inga didn't react, so no, but she came in while he was there. Yes, that might explain his scream. Will the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. He's doing a scream because he was attacked by Nana. Maybe he was attacked by Nana. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime. Does your idiocy know no bounds? The minister's body was found in the tomb. Are you suggesting that the body was moved? I think the minister was moved from his private quarters. I think the possibility... No, Rafa saw him run. Maybe an impersonator, maybe? I don't think it... Let's just say it exists for sake of saying it. Considering the fact that the body was found in the tomb, I'd say there's a possibility. What utter nonsense. Rafa had been watching the courtyard. You would suggest that someone could have transported the body unnoticed? You have a point there. In that case, let's say there's no way the body was moved. After all, there's an awful lot of blood in the tomb. Right, so that makes more sense. I understand that the scream was in the reaction to Nana's attack, but Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how these two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? Oh, maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. What do you mean? Just let's look at this as simply as possible. The minister's body wasn't moved. He might have been stabbed by Nana in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. Interesting, but you'd leave blood. There'd be other things. That can't be it. Let's see. On one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Why would he go there too? Somebody, what is that fool babbling on about now? This is a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of. Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
Objection!
It wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would you? The autopsy report never stated that the minister's death was instantaneous. It could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Possible. Well, yes, that's the gist of it. In short, Minister Inga saw Nana with a knife, let out a scream, and then he turned his back to her to flee. Right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Such insolence!
It kind of does. How dare you bore me like this? If the knife was in his back, I guess it would stop excess blood from getting out. There's so many weird things, though. How dare you bore me like this? Huh? You are a humorless moron spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel. I wasn't trying to be funny, Your Eminence. Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing. Your Eminence. Great. Slide it off. Slide it off. Nahuta! You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice you had been stabbed in the back, but a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Oh, like... Oh no, he had his back medicine, so no, he wouldn't know. Wait, I wasn't... We never claimed that he didn't notice he got stabbed. It's just that he ran away to the tomb after he got stabbed. But of course, if he numbed his back pain, so yeah. figure that out. Let me teach you the meaning of pain. Please stop! Now here that's the point. Normally most people would notice a dagger in their back. Ow, yeah, I doubt someone could ignore pain like this. So in this case, the word normally that we should emphasize. Paula, take another look at the court record. Right, okay, this one's clear. Must be something that explains this. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that. Very well, please present your evidence. Why didn't Justice Minister Inga notice that he had been just stabbed? Pain medicine.
Take that!
Ah, those are my father's painkiller shots. Defense will explain the significance of this evidence. Mr. Inga suffered from terrible back pain, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence. You can't mean. Mr. Inga was stabbed in the back close to where he usually injected the painkiller. Therefore, it's entirely possible that he hadn't noticed that he'd been stabbed. What? What's this? Then, you're suggesting that Justice Minister Inga ran off with a knife protruding from his back? I think the music's really quiet. That's like, it's relative to the text. It's like the text is louder. I am your majesty. But then when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him. I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well. Yes, the knife was there. It was just plunged so deep you didn't notice it under the cape. Before, when you saw your father, he was already dead. Dead man walking, murdered by Nana in his private quarters. Okunka! And that word. Wasn't the dagger on the outside though? Holy Mother Curtain, are we dealing with the living dead here? Maybe not. Hard to say. Well, technically he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. Once Mr. Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss. Although the thing is, it doesn't explain the gunshots or anything. Not Nana killed my father? There must be some mistake. Defense would like to call Nana to the stand. You think you could drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever? Well, there's no real proof, but humph. What a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Or who or what shall I believe in now? Sorry, Rafa. All I've done is confuse you. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nana's involved in this case one way or another. When I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now. You fool of a lawyer. I know why you are so desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? It's because he faces public execution if proven guilty. As shall you under the stipulations of the Defense Culpability Act. From the moment you accepted this case, you had no choice but to fight for your lives. No, the simple fact is I've always believed in that Dirk is innocent. Is innocent. Bah, still you cling to your pretense. Really well, I shall offer you a bargain. You would admit that the accused is guilty right here, right now. I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution. This is some sort of joke? Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. With the wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate. I wasn't kidding when she said she's the law here. To flaunt that power in our faces like that, that's just wrong. Forget that all has transpired in our kingdom and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer? Generous offering means we're getting close here. If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? There's probably an extra scene if you save, if you do abandoned defense. Nah, we'll roll with it. Just continue. I think we got a long case ahead of us. Nice try, Garon, but it looks like you don't know what justice is made of. We won't Koto, Koto threats like that, Your Eminence. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but I can't back down now. I wanted to drag you into this, so don't worry, I'm with you, Apollo, to the bitter end if need be. While I can't say I'm used to it, this isn't exactly my first rodeo. If I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. I can understand if you don't believe me, but I still believe in you and your innocence. All I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. You keep on fighting, Apollo. You'll hear no objections from me. You nincompoops. You'll die if you lose this case. Why would you even entertain the notion of continuing? I believe that Dirk is innocent. That's why. Besides, trials exist to give the truth a chance to get out into the open. You can't give up just because you're afraid of some punishment. I just remembered one thing. I remember when I first saw this game, I forget if I mentioned this. Apollo Sprite here, I thought he had a super long ponytail when I first saw him. Just because this brown on the back of his suit is the same color as his hair. Like it comes down and like kind of breaks here. And like, oh, he has a super long ponytail going all the way down. Just something I remembered. That punishment is, even if that punishment is death, does that not frighten you here? Frighten you, Hornhead? Who wouldn't be scared? I mean, just thinking about it makes me weak in the knees, to be honest. But as a lawyer, I have a duty to protect my client. I just can't abandon that. A duty you're willing to die for? Is she gonna get their courage to do the divine seance? And yet duty. The heavy burden, all right. If it looks like she's really struggling. Same thing again. Your benevolence. As crown princess, you're destined to rule this kingdom one day. It means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, what is true and what is false. Most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I'm even up to the task. But it's no surprise, considering the torrent of painful truths she's had to face. Very well then. The defense is prepared to face death sentence on the Defense Culpability Act, and I see no reason not to continue with the proceedings. But I must admit, there are no grounds for doubting the accused's guilt. Unless the defense has further evidence that would indicate different, I suspect. Do you have anything like that? Well, lawyer, do you have any new evidence you would care to present? Shall I have the executioner start his preparations? She thinks I can't do this. She's got another thing coming. But first, I have some serious thinking to do. There's new evidence indicating a different suspect. Has to exist, right? Let me keep that one here. Has to exist. I mean, we haven't explained the gunshots yet, too. Exists. Of course I have some new evidence. Ho ho ho! Do you now? How very interesting. Why doesn't she sound the least bit concerned? No, I can't let her get to me. I just have to keep pressing forward. This new evidence points to a different suspect. This sounds like a dead end. Yeah. I want to point the struggle, but there's nothing that strongly instigates the struggle on its own. There's stuff that implies it, like the broken statue in this picture, the gun in this picture. Well, this kind of does it. This actually does it. But I don't think it's gonna be it. You would claim this evidence proves the existence of a different suspect? Wait, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting. Your evidence, are you saying this piece of evidence doesn't do anything for you? It appeared to me that you chose that evidence at random. Not really. In the vain hope you would learn something from my reaction. Is that not correct? Oh. Your Majesty? For shame. Now, I think this is going to kick us back to the choice. I'd say the new evidence indicating a different suspect, yeah, does not exist. This evidence does not exist. Just as I thought. So hoping you present meaningless evidence and allow me to claim your head. But I didn't walk headfirst into that one, and yeah, good thing we didn't do that. Totally didn't. So now, what now, Apollo? Well, unless we can prove that Nina killed Inga, trial's over, and so are we. Like, I had to do it because depending on how Apollo phrases it, they totally could. I have stuff that indicates something else went down in that tomb. If we're not, I don't know why we're not calling Nina to the stand. I know, well, I know she's locked in the sarcophagus probably and can't come. But we were just indicating Nina probably stabbed, and we should have followed up with testimony. Again, we as players probably think, okay, she's in the sarcophagus, but the courtroom doesn't know that. Maybe our eminence does. But we should try and fail, and we should ask why, so we can get to that sarcophagus point. Trial's over, and so are we. Isn't there still a way to get the proof we need, even without evidence? You know, a key means of obtaining testimony here in Kurian. Huh? So now we're gonna do the divine seance. Wait, are you actually suggesting? It certainly won't be easy, but this is worth a try. Your Majesty, crucial step in uncovering the truth behind this case is yet to be taken in this trial. But I'm positive that I can back up our claim with this one step. I mean, you will be able to prove that Nina killed Justice Minister Inga? And just how do you propose to do that? The help of a certain someone. You need help? Someone? Well, I can't imagine who it could be. But someone must ask. Whose help do you need to uncover the truth? We need Ray Fuzz. We need Edgeworth. He'll solve this in no time. Oh, we're good. Alright, Rafa. Get to it. But that is... me? Here in Kurin, legal proceedings include the viewing of the victim's final moments. But that requires your benevolence's help. Such information is just as vital as any other piece of conclusive evidence. You're right about this. Rafa's power should be able to enable her to see the very moment Nina stabbed Inga. That was the moment of death. It'll be hard to watch your father's murder, but it's the only way to uncover the truth. Your benevolence, we need you and your power. You need me? Wretched simpleton, did you not see what ensued in the previous attempt? You would only succeed in wasting more time. Or is your goal to make her collapse again? Objection! Princess said she was prepared earlier. Besides, it's her duty as royal priestess. I'd say it's all up to her now. Am I prepared? Prepared to fulfill my duty? Isn't a divination seance required at all trials anyway? So I imagine there'd be a problem with handing down a verdict without one. Indeed, it would be problematic. Under Kurinese laws, a seance must be conducted before a verdict can be rendered.
Such insolence!
Yikes! Humph, must you try my patience so? I must dispense with that vexing law, then dispense with it I shall. Huh? As ruling sovereign of Kurian, I proclaim the following. Oh, wow. Get right with those things? Henceforth, the divination seance shall be optional. What? She has the power to do that? She just rewrote the law with the flourish of her hand. Hold it. Mother, I do not wish the trial to end like this. As the defense said, I must not neglect my duty simply because I'm afraid. I should go through with this time. I conduct the seance once more.
Such insolence!
Rafa, do not be fooled by his lordly guile. You are not prepared to witness your father's death. She's obviously covering because she's afraid of what she's gonna find out. Although, if she knew it was bad for us, she was pretty intent on she'd do it earlier. Maybe because she knew she would fail. So she was okay presenting like, oh yeah, go ahead. But now that she thinks she's built up her confidence, she wants to avoid doing it. But Hornhead needs my help. Rafa, did you not tell me earlier? Did you not tell me you were prepared? Despite your grandiose posturing, you collapsed in the most hideous fashion. Ugh. Even worse, you have erred in your insights of late. For not have the barbed one, I have the, oh my god, for has not the barbed one over there overturned them more than once? Oh, cannot be trusted to keep your word, nor can you reveal the truth through your insights. So I say to you, be gone. This sacred hall of justice has no need for such a worthless royal priestess. Worthless? Wow, how can she say that to her own daughter? So, mother, you think me worthless?
Objection!
Her benevolence says she can do it, doesn't she? So I don't see why you have to condemn her before she's even made the attempt. I mean, she did make an attempt. Very well, a horned devil. You really are so bent on having a seance. I shall give my consent. Really? However, should Rafa fail once more, you two and the accused shall all be executed on the spot. Come again? This is proving to be far more entertaining than I anticipated. Well, lawyer, what say you? Will you wager your life and call on Rafa to perform a divination seance? Call on Rafa. Let's do it. I don't think you're worthless, your benevolence. Far from it, in fact. You say you can do it, and I believe in you. Hornhead, I do not understand. If I fail, you will be put to death. I know you collapsed during your previous attempt. I can't even imagine how terrible it must have been for you. But despite that, you are willing to try again. I have faith in that conviction, in that courage. My courage. So she was doomed to fail if she didn't have the courage to perform the seance. Looks like she's got the determination to try again. Right. That's a bet I'm willing to take. But, this as my mother said, I've erred in my insights as of late. Not only have I failed to reveal the truth, I've also contributed to false accusations. Knowing that, can you still say that you believe in me?
Objection!
I wouldn't take stock in those words, your benevolence. Despite what your mother says, I don't think you've made any errors at all. Huh? The trials I've been part of here in Kurtain, I would have never proven my client's innocence without your seances. Because even though they didn't always reflect the absolute truth, the insight that provided served as vital leads to finding the truth. Vital leads? My seances? So please, your benevolence, try to perform the divination seance one more time.
Objection!
Rafa, stop this madness. It is for your own good. You are ill-prepared to face your father's death. Go, leave this sacred hall at once. No. What did you say? I said no, mother, for I'm the royal priestess of Kurtain. You have no need for you. I have no need for you now. Even if you do not need me, mother. Hornhead and his hall of justice do. He proved that to me by risking his own life. Because of him that I now understand. The division seance is my sacred duty. I must fulfill it no matter the risk. Your benevolence. Mother taught me that the divination seance was a mirror reflecting naught but the truth. but I began to have my doubts after Barb had disproved the insights it offered. And now I don't even know who or what to trust anymore. Father, mother, even Nana, I had believed in them above all others. But I finally know now. I know in what I can trust. The royal priestess must debate each seance with the presiding lawyer and prosecutor. So that it can be interpreted properly. That is how I believe trials here in Kurain should function. Therefore, the Hall of Justice needs me. It is my power that leads trials toward the truth. That is my sacred duty, and I will never shirk from it again. That right there, your benevolence, is the product of what you've learned in your struggles so far. The truth that you realize with your own strength. As my sacred duty, I must ensure that it is fulfilled. I must have the courage and resolve to see it through. Your Eminence, the royal priestess says she will conduct a divination seance. I see no grounds for you to forbid it. Unless, of course, you are worried that I might reveal something you find inconvenient. Mother, I'm done letting you have your way. Rafa, you would actually rebel against me, your mother and queen. Though I'm scared to see my father's death. I must face my fear. That is what Hornhead has taught me here today. Rafa. Alright, here we go again.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Kurain.
Kurain? Is that how you say it?
And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Well, shoot, that's a thing to learn at the end of the game. Kurain. Your Eminence. Why is it Kurain? How would it be Kurain? Kurain. Kurain. Well, whatever. She said it Kurain. I guess I'm going to say it too. Did they say it earlier? Did I miss that part? Kurain. Okay, whatever. Your Eminence. Well, it definitely rolls off the tongue than Kurain. Seems the princess is more grown up than you thought. Rafa. Like, this is the biggest, the surprise of all. The biggest twist. It's Kurain all along. Well then, let's proceed with the divination seance. The victim's final moments. This should be interesting. Wonder what Inga's memories are going to show us.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I figured there'd be 2 seances, but I guess this is still technically the first one. Like, that first one day, we technically didn't have. We definitely are going to call somebody back from 23 years ago. Somehow, that's going to be important. And, like, I guess if Amara's not dead, the only actual dead person is Apollo's father. Which would be interesting. Do the dance. You know, I always thought it was kind of odd, her dress, because it's obviously, it's like a cosplayer's idea of what a religious outfit would be. But then again, I looked over at her mother, and man, maybe Kurain has some weird fashion for their royalty. I was thinking it's gonna end there, but it keeps going. Wonder if we are actually going to summon the Holy Mother at all, or they're just people are just afraid to do that. Be interesting to see what her deal is. I don't think it's gonna happen. But it's like it's a resist mystery that's presented. Be kind of cool if it did. We'll see. All right, what do we got? How bad is this gonna shoot us? How are we gonna shoot ourselves in the foot here? Okay, no, he wasn't stabbed in the back. He wouldn't be drinking wine even if he didn't know it was there. No, he wouldn't realize the knife was in his back at some point. Incense. I know it's the first words. Man's voice. That sounds like Dirk. Oh, maybe it's on the phone. Bane. Footsteps. Weird, he's all blurry. Explosion, laughter, what the heck? God, what in the faceless being? What the heck? His face is just like a Holy Mothers. The picture of the founder. I think that's the last thing anyone expected to see. Oh, Father, what was it? What was it you saw? We didn't understand that this was the last thing the victim saw? Yes, there can be no mistake. That was what my father himself witnessed. Very strange. You don't suppose Holy Mother possessed the accused and slew the Minister Inga for the planning a coup? Divine wrath of the Holy Mother? Oh, Holy Mother, we are ever grateful for your blessings. Talk about a sharp left turn into the Twilight Zone. You know, there's one thing in there that caught my attention. Laughter. That laughing, who does it belong to and why are they laughing? Who knows, though I suppose it could be Dirk after he slew my husband. Uh-huh. That figure didn't even have a mouth. Oh, I think we're done here, lawyer. How so? Claimed that Mr. Inga was stabbed in his private quarters. And feeling no pain, went to the tomb where he eventually fell dead. But the seance vision proves he was stabbed in the tomb and felt great pain, no less. That's true. Oh, that. Therefore, as I asserted all along, it was the accused who stabbed the minister in the tomb. Everything just backfired big time. Wow, Garan has the devil's own luck, doesn't she? Now then, I shall give the voice to the soul of the deceased. Listen well and heed these words. So, yeah, why is Dirk's face missing? Holy Mothers obviously comes to mind, but do we know? Like, maybe it's a spirit channeling thing. Maybe people's faces don't appear if they're spirit channeling someone. Maybe my theory is holy water, because the fact that they're hiding Dirk's identity supports my theory from before. Around 3 p.m., my father was waiting in the tomb to make the hostage exchange. He was drinking grape juice while gazing upon the picture of the Holy Mother. He had been waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. But why did he ignore him? Next moment, he was stabbed in the back and collapsed. Now, my father tried to shoot his attacker, but he missed, and the attacker let out a laugh. So what now, Mr. Wright? It's up to us to knock holes in Rayful's interpretations of Inga's memories. In other words, we need to prove that her understanding of them could be mistaken. Okay, I'll give it a try. Let's take a... I mean, we don't know what time it is. Grapes, incense, sour. Might be sour, right? Yep, footsteps. Heard Dirk's voice, sure. No, he was here for a long time. Yeah, let's save here. It's gonna be a thing. Wait. Did I already save over that thing? No, okay, no, I got two here. Detector missed. Detector let her laugh. Maybe. Footsteps. See him, yeah, weird. Okay, so the thing that comes to mind is obviously that when he heard Dirk's voice. Yeah, look how much time is between this, hearing the voice, stabbing.
Objection!
No. Benevolence. This is insights inconsistent with the vision. Oh, please do tell. Where exactly does this inconsistency lie, Hornet? I'm just gonna. Oh, let's finish it out. Well, it's kind of hard to say, especially when you put me on the spot like that, Liz. This will only present opinions that it won't collapse under pressure. So I better take a closer look at this insights and the vision before I try again. Huh. But it shows the attacker missed the attacker let out a laugh. Tried to shoot. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's obviously not that, but we have nothing to disprove that. He'd been waiting vigilantly when he certainly heard Dirk's voice. Grape juice while grazing upon the Holy Mother. Yep. Waiting vigilantly when suddenly he heard Dirk's voice. No, I don't think he did. Let's try the other one. It's one of these two. They're like, this is still my best bet.
Objection!
Yeah, it was the wrong message. All right. Your benevolence. There seems to be an inconsistency in your interpretation. An inconsistency where? Mr. Ing is far too relaxed for what it was supposedly about to take place. When he heard the voice you claim is Dirk's, he didn't seem at least bit alarmed. He just kept looking at the picture of the founder. Okay, I just did the wrong one. That is strange, right? He was waiting for Dirk to arrive with the founder's orb, but when he heard the voice, he didn't even turn or look. Don't you think he would have been worried about being attacked from behind? And whose voice was it? It was likely someone whose presence wouldn't have alarmed him. Someone like a friend.
Objection!
There's no third party at the scene of the crime. Therefore, the voice can only belong to Dirk. The voice of the third party who wasn't there. He was obviously talking on the phone. Wasn't there at the tomb. Oh, don't we have something that could reveal the owner of the mystery voice? You know, I think we do. Something that Inga had while he was waiting for Dirk. That we just might be able to figure out whose voice it was. How do you feel the big voice Mr. Inga heard with this?
Take that!
That's my father's... Now, that's supposed to be hard for you, but could you please look at this photo? There's something here that can point us toward the identity of the voice. This is the real source of the man's voice. Bam. You can't even know what this is. Cell phone. Alright, I believe that the voice the minister heard was of a call on this cell phone. I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. What is your eminence's view on the matter? can see the possibility. Then it seems I must refine my vision. What do we get? Subordinate's voice. Here's that the voice belonged to one of my father's subordinates. Why do you suppose he was talking to one of them then? My father had members of the secret police positioned throughout the palace. You're supposed to contact him as soon as they saw Dirk and the rest of you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Your benevolence, I believe you have an insight to revise. I know, Barbed Head. Don't presume to tell me how to do my duty. See what she changed. I took a call from a subordinate at the palace. The voice was coming from the phone. That's good to know. But there might have been other sounds coming from the phone. Sounds that could be clues. Maybe look at Rafa's insights and really focus on the various sensations. Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Right, Apollo's never done this before. Okay, presumably that laughter's gonna change too. Subordinate at the palace. Hacker let out a laugh. Lions roar, dogs bark. Pain. Yeah, those were new. It's implying all that Warbad stuff. There was someone in the... Yeah, no, this is the same. That's not this. Seven in the palace is the thing. It's not in the palace, it's in the bazaar. Oops. Start that. Have my hand in position. Dogs bark. Then
Objection!
hate to break it to you, your benevolence, but you misinterpreted something again. What do you mean? Again, so yeah, whoever they're talking to is in the bazaar. Smooth move, Paul. I think you just hurt her feelings. She may put on a brave face, but she feels more than she lets on. Let me rephrase that, your benevolence. Your interpretation of your father's phone call to his subordinate at the palace is inconsistent with his final memory. What do you mean by that? The lion's roar could be heard over the phone. Don't you find that strange? Claiming the call was with someone at the palace. Well, let me ask you, do you keep lions there? No, the only animals in the palace are little birdies and my pet frog. Wait, that giant one in the front of the minister's house is her pet? Important facts here. Besides, there aren't any lions in oh my god. Kurain. Yeah, Kurain. No, wait. No, Kurain is the other one. Oh god, what was it? I forgot it already. What was the pronunciation? It's not Kurain. It's Kurain's regular. Or actually, was it Kurain for both? No, it was distinct. It wasn't the same as Kurain. Kuran. Kuranan. Kurin. Yeah. Kurin. Kurin, that's what it was. We don't have zoos. A rather sad state of affairs, I'm afraid. Because the A is like very soft and the I is pronounced. Well, I remember hearing a sound like that. The lion's roar coming from the photo in the line is actually something hanging out in the bazaar. They were extremely careful to point that out multiple times so you didn't forget. Isn't that the cry of the warbad over in the bazaar? Ah! Your benevolence, do you think you can clarify the voice for me? Very well. Kuren. Kuren. Kuren? Kuren. No, it's something else. Warbad's cry. What's this? Rin. Oh God, what was it's so bothering me now that I remember it, then I forgot how to pronounce it. Just as I suspected, it was the call of a warbad. That means the subordinate Mr. Ingo was talking to was in the bazaar, not the palace. But why is it important where the call came from? What's the significance could it have? He's right. It's important to know where the call was made from. Because of the laughter and the explosion. It's very important. It's actually very important. Knowing that the person on the other end was at the bazaar means... Ooh. Are we gonna find out? Because it's not Dats who's a subordinate, but is this subordinate actually Albie? The loud explosion might not have been the sound of a gunshot. But I can think of no other item that makes such a noise in the area. Who is he talking to if not him? Because it was a confrontation between Dats and Albie. Maybe the subordinate was there too. You know, on the sidelines. Go ahead, Apollo, tell her. Rayfa is the real source of that sound. Will do. Well, Hornet, I'm waiting. What was the true source of that explosion sound? In here, right? Yeah. Right, this is before that whole event then. Yeah, so the timing's way off. So who she saw leave the thing was not Father.
Take that!
What is that? Someone channeling his father. Like, I suspected it might be channeling. But it's like, oh man. It was possible, but like, man, the timing on that autopsy report is way off. So Albie Ergod's statement, our guide. In it, he claims Dats Arbel threw a firecracker at him while he was at the bazaar. Then, yes, the sound heard over the phone was the firecracker exploding. Objection! And yet, a bullet was found at the scene of the crime. Bullet fired from Minister Inga's gun. How do you explain that? It's not even the right angle. Way off. Well, we don't know exactly whether it was fired during the course of the crime, right? Or do you have evidence that it proves when the pistol was discharged? No, you don't. No, I have none. Wait a second. If that loud bang was a firecracker, then could that laugh at the end have been... Yep, it's Stats as well. No, it can't be. Oh, it can, and it is. The laugh came from the none other than... the Joker who got kicked out of startling Albie with his dragon snaps. That happy-go-lucky Dats a rebel. What? Someone should really put a leash on that guy. I shudder to think how one man can be the cause of so much trouble. Hey there, AJPW. Y'all can thank me later. Don't ask for your commentary, Mr. Rebel. Your benevolence, do you need to revise your insight? Would appear so. Well, this changes everything. Let's go over the details of Rayfa's insight again. Okay. I think we've got this down now. Time to find another inconsistency. We're on TPU. It's this one. We just need to get to the end. Well, here, let's see if any of the other ones changed, right? No. No, it's the timing that we need to look at. Save here. Because now that we know that stuff. The explosion. Select. Sound.
Objection!
Yeah, here we go. Your benevolence. There's a glaring problem with his insight. There is. He stated that the murder happened at around 3 p.m., which is right around the time my client arrived at the scene. However, now that we know what the source of the loud bang is, your insight conflicts with a certain piece of evidence. Suppose I'll have to ask the obvious here. What evidence conflicts with the claim that the murder occurred at 3 p.m.? The one we just showed. Boom. Albie Ergade's statement. Again? Yes, again. Yes, because to summarize what he said, at around 2 p.m., Shadow was surprised by a firecracker and ran into the palace courtyard. Around 2 p.m.? That's right, 2 p.m. Not 3 p.m. Ah! Ooh, here's our nervous thing. Hey, look. He's really digging in there. Are you suggesting... Yeah, I guess Nina probably... So it's probably Nina who did the spirit channeling then? That's what everything seems to imply. He was already dead. Nina went to the temple, or went inside, you know, went in, took a couple steps in, left her footprints, changed into him who, like, the Inga, who just died. Like, oh, wait. Ooh, actually, that's interesting. Yeah, she would maybe dress herself first, change into Inga. Inga remembers that he died. It's like so thrown out of sorts, then he just rushes out of the room back to where he died. That's why he's paled, and that's why he screamed too. God, that's weird. You wouldn't know what the heck is going on. So he goes right, yeah, he runs back to the room to check on. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Figured it might, but it's like, because I'm like, oh wait, how did they get along with him to, like, when you change into a person through channeling, they take over your body basically. So how can they get him to go along with a plan where he died? But no, they don't have to. They know his normal reaction is to just like wonder what's happening and go back to where he was. I think you know where I'm going with this. That laugh, the cry of the warbad, and the bang of the firecracker were all heard right before Minister Inga's death. Thanks to Albie's statement, we can put a definitive timestamp on all of these sounds. Therefore, but then we still don't know what happened to... Well, no, it could be Nana in the tomb still. She could still be in that sarcophagus. Therefore... Oh, should have got to this point to do all my explaining. But yeah, so it could still be Nana. Nana shows up, she hides in the sarcophagus. Then Dirk shows up. Oh, we still don't know exactly how Dirk goes out. Well, this vision shows us that it's extremely likely the deceased's final moments were at 2 rather than 3 as we had originally thought. Dare I ask? It means that the murder took place a full hour before Dirk entered the tomb. Ooh, and I even said, arg. How can this be? I even said this channeling more resembled Nana's outfit than it does the priest's. That's different, but I think the robes are the same. Hold on. The white, there's the gold, red, and the purple under. It's open, like the chest is very open, but it doesn't look like normal skin here. If I go back to... Actually, the reason it's so open... Yeah, the hat's different. Well, really hard to tell. The fact that this is so open, it might be. No, actually, no, this is not purple. This is yellow. This is definitively yellow. With the purple around the edges for Nana. Yeah, that's some weird stuff. But the fact that it's so open for clothing here, even though it normally isn't, might be because it ill suits her. It doesn't fit because she's changing into someone else. I don't think it's definitive enough, but I think that's what's going on here. How can this be? Are you saying that I, the very personification of the law, have been mistaken? Oh, wow. I see why justice will always prevail. Nice extensions. Peace. Peace, peace, I say. Now then, defense. I must remind you of the figure in the accused. The figure of the accused was clearly shown in the vision. How do you explain that? I don't explain anything. If it was Dirk, it should show Dirk's face. I wouldn't say it was clearly shown. That's where the figure didn't actually have a face. Ah, you are absolutely right. Without a face, we can't be certain who it was. Furthermore, all I need to remind you, if the vision is from 2 p.m., Dirk was still with me and Mr. Wright, which means this faceless figure couldn't possibly be him. So then, what are we to make of this this 1 hour difference? Wait, 2 o'clock? That's when my mother was performing the rite of channeling. Palace guards had all been reassigned to guard channeling chamber for the rite. Don't tell me. The royal residence, it would have been virtually unguarded, which means the real killer could have easily slipped unseen into Amara's tomb. Defense, are you saying this is someone disguised as the accused? That's exactly what I believe, Your Majesty. Preposterous. Disguises cannot be deceive the memories of the dead. That the face did not appear this time is mere happenstance. No. Had it appeared, such subterfuge would have been clear as day. At a point, yes, but we have to ask, why is the face not appearing? It's not just happenstance. Anyone who knows about the divination seance would have tried to hide their face. Nevertheless, our killer openly appeared before Inga. The question is, why? But we were with Dirk, so it's like impossible. Maybe the killer could afford to be so bold because they knew the face wouldn't show up in the seance vision. Yeah, what? Possible that the killer dared to dress in Dirk's clothes and stand square in front of Inga precisely because they knew they could get away with it. But how can anyone be so sure of something like that? Well, a long time ago, I heard of a cognitive disorder. It impairs a person's ability to distinguish between different faces. Oh, did he have that? Did Inga have that? Oh, right. He didn't remember us one time when we talked to him the second time. Inga didn't. Which, you know, it might have been a joke about, oh, how unimportant we think he is, but I guess it was a clue to this. That's why he writes down all the distinctive details. That's weird, but sure. I mean, I guess it checks out. What if Inga had it? Are you saying this is literally how Inga saw the world? Yes, we can't normally see through the eyes of others, but in this case we can. He had that disorder. I imagine this is how faces appear to him in life. It's weird. Like, that's a strange disorder too. Like, there's no way this is what actually it looks like to people with that disorder. It just means they have trouble picking out smaller details on someone's face. Okay, let's say that the killer knew that Inga had such a disorder. They could definitely use it to pin the crime on Dirk. But if you're wondering about how to prove that Inga, you you already have what you need. Really? Well, defense, do you have anything to show to this court? Yes, I believe so. Frankly, I have no idea what Mr. Wright means, but I'll look at the evidence over again. Come on, we know what it is. I had no way of guessing this until this appeared. But yeah. What explains why the face of Mr. Inga's killer is absent in his seance vision?
Take that!
A notepad? Yes, it was found in Mr. Inga's room. It holds the answer we're looking for. As you can see, it's filled with the detailed notes on various individuals. What kind of clothes they wear, hairstyles, and other discerning physical characteristics. And this is connected to the faceless nature of the killer. How? The vision we saw was exactly what Mr. Inga saw with his own eyes. It is he who saw his killer as a person without a face. In fact, this is how we normally saw everyone around him. What's this? I believe Mr. Inga had a disorder that prevented him from recognizing faces. Would explain the faceless being and why he needed a notepad full of people's physical characteristics. Now that I think about it, my father was always terrible at remembering people. Simply changing my hairstyle, he would fail to recognize even me. Your Eminence, you knew that your husband had such a disorder, didn't you? Yeah, so this changes the killer to someone who knew who it was, which means it could be her channeling. She's not channeling anyone. She just dressed up as Dirk. Although that vision, I think we would have known. That sure was pretty tight on Dirk. It could have been one of our guards. I think we would have recognized these if we saw was her impersonating him. He never wished for it to become public knowledge. But so as there's no use in keeping quiet about it now, as it is as you say. Well, it has been a special disorder that hindered his ability to recognize faces. The medical term for it is prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia. I have to look into that later. Mr. Wright was right. Memories of those afflicted with such disorders in life do appear strange at times. There's precedent for this. The killer likely knew about the disorder and used it to their advantage. Alright, so there's someone who knows both knowledgeable about divination seance, and aware of Inga's affliction, which is really only one person. Your Eminence? Who knew about your husband's condition? A small number of servants who tended to his needs. And me. Surely you're not about to insinuate that I committed this crime. Oh no, Your Eminence. Still, could she have done it? Ron has an alibi, remember? Oh, right. She was conducting the rite of channeling at 2 p.m. Conveniently, she was. In that case... Your Eminence, does Nana know about Minister Inga's disorder? Of course she does. She's our head servant. It's hard for her to physically pass as them, though, probably. So as head servant, she knew about Minister Inga's condition. And as the prince's personal attendant, she's familiar with the divination seance. These two facts together don't make her a possible suspect. I don't know what could.
Objection!
You witless lawyer, how quick you are to forget the facts. Facts like, when Inga was last seen alive, claim he was slain at 2, yet that is impossible. For Rafa saw him at 2:30. We did completely forget about that. No, there must be some mistake. So you see, the murder could only have happened around at 2 or 3 p.m. The hour Dirks entered the tomb, there is no other answer to this puzzle. Nana channeled him, because we know Nana, by her own, by the Queen's own mission, I think, because she told the Queen told Rafa not to mention it. Rafa saw Nana enter the dude's house. So Nana must know how to channel. Has to be it. I just don't know how we're gonna prove that. There's no other answer to this puzzle. Why don't we ever get to make up answers like Ron makes up laws? This is back to square one. Where did we go wrong? I don't think we're the problem. We just seem to be short one piece of the puzzle. Our deductions so far explain everything to a T. Everything except for Inga's sighting at 2:30. I see, and without that final puzzle piece, all of our deductions fall apart. Oh, if Inga's sighting is the only anomaly, we'll just have to find a way to make it fit into the bigger picture. Time to think outside the box then, right? Let's see. It would be possible for Inga to be walking around after he'd been killed. What if there was a way to make people who think he was alive even though he was dead? A way to make people witness the living dead. Sounds like some kind of TV show. Things like that don't happen in real life. They kind of do in this life. Aha! Apollo, did you just... I did. Figured it out. I know how to make people witness the living dead. Your Majesty, our deductions weren't wrong after all. Despite Minister Inga being murdered at 2 p.m., he was seen heading into the tomb at 2:30, and I'll tell you how. Certainly hope you will, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Minister Inga, her benevolent saw was, in fact, someone channeling him. It was the deceased being channeled. The only way a man who was already dead could have been seen by her benevolence. Channeled, you say? That's right. And there are only 2 people capable of spirit channeling here in Kurta Inn. Oh my god. It's current. What was it? I want to say it's Karain. But no, Karain is the regular way of saying it. Was it Karain? Because I never, when they said it, I would have like, oh, it's pronounced the same as Karain. I didn't say that. So it was different slightly somehow. Corinne? Yeah, it's Corinne, I think. I don't know. Corinne? No, it's different. That doesn't sound right. What did I say? Oh, it's bugging me so much. Remember, it's Queen Garan and Maya Fey. It's possible that one of them was channeling the minister. It seemed that you are ever bent on making me party to this crime. Although, we're not accusing Nana. Prosecutor, what was why doing at 2:30 at the time at which my husband was seen? Eminence. I believe you had completed the channeling rite and were having tea with the king of the neighboring realm. There would have been many attendants there too. Okay, so fine. You just have to keep up with her schedule too. What doesn't she make him do? And that leaves only Maya. Why would Maya do such a thing? Yeah, it does. Maybe someone was forcing her to use her power toward nefarious ends. The real killer could have been threatening her. Possible. That cannot be. So then Inga's scream, that was probably from when he woke up from being called back to this world, right? Or that's what the flow of this time would have picked up from after he died. So right, so he dies somehow. So Nana comes to the tomb, kills the dude dressed as him. Someone, they can't be, well, maybe it can be, no, it's not Nana again. I could have been, well, maybe it could have been Nana. No, Rafa said she would have seen. Rafa never mentioned that she saw Nana leaving the tomb. But no, Nana had to be there. So it probably was Nana leaving the tomb to go to the Inga's residence, where Maya was probably being held captive. He forces her to channel Inga. Then she lets nature runs a no. The problem is, when does Nana go back to the tomb if she leaves it? Because Rafa's on guard and then we show up. Like, I guess technically she doesn't have to, but here's, how is Maya tied up then? Or did they create the false expectation that she's tied up? No, the guard said she was. I mean, the guards could be lying, I guess. Maybe I was just passed out on the floor. But how do they control that? If she had complete control of herself, how do they keep Naya from just walking out early? If they didn't tie her down in that chair. Oh, whatever, we'll just go. After all, that's when the flow of time would have picked up back up for him after he died. The Minister Inga probably leapt to his feet, thinking he just had a nightmare, and realizing it was almost time for the hostage exchange, he raced off to Amara's tomb, not even realizing he was already dead. Then, her benevolence really did see a dead man running. Ha! Using the sacred power of spirit channeling to commit a crime. How can this be? Defense calls Mr. Maya Fade to the stand. Well, Your Eminence, will you allow a new witness? It matters not. Either way, this lawyer shall soon know the truth. He will know just how much of an imbecile he is in the face of my infallible arguments. Tell me all you want, witch, but you'll be eating those words when I expose the truth. She better? Very well, let's adjourn until the next witness is ready. Oh, it's getting late-ish. I was really hurting at the last one. To be continued. Oh, I don't want to do this. I kind of want to wrap up today, but I feel like we have a lot left. Like a lot left. We haven't even touched the incident from 23 years ago. No, I don't think there's any way I finish this in time for today. And it's getting good, though. I don't want to stop either. No, I think I have to for now, because there's just no way we're going to get through it all. And, like, I want to leave, you know, a decent amount for another session, at least, too. Because we haven't even talked about the incident 23 years ago, and that's going to be a whole thing. Probably. I just don't want to leave like at the very edge of everything. And maybe there is like we're not close. I don't feel close at all. We're just wrapping up what happened here. Would suck if there's only like an hour and a half left. I don't think that's the case, right? Here, let's go a little longer and see what happens. I can go a little longer. It's a little early too. We don't have to stop at the to begin to use. Just nice. Keep going. See if there's if I get close to the end, because it seems like we've just about wrapped up the guy's murder. 19th High Court of Kurin. It's Kurin. I don't know. I forget what it was. It doesn't sound right. I don't know why they all sound wrong. Talk about some really close shaves. Well, you can't get closer shaved than Headsman's brand blades, that's for sure. I feel like we're gonna swap Phoenix out for Athena so she can do our therapy session thing. Trial's not even over yet, and I'm already exhausted. So you were able to fight back the queen herself in there. Well, maybe this makes Phelps. I won't have to keep my playing her game much longer. Speaking of which, I guess it's a little late to be asking, but do you think she's well enough to testify, Mr. Wright? Slept all day yesterday out of exhaustion, apparently. That's all it was, so she should be okay. Barbed head, horned head. Oh, hello, your benevolence. Princess Rafa, you were really impressive in there.
I am the royal priestess Rafa Padma Kurain.
Kurain.
And I am prepared to face my father's death.
Weird. I feel like there should be an E in there somewhere, but I guess no. Kurain. Sure. No, it sounds weird to me. Kurain. Yeah, Ryan, dude. The guy's name. No, it's Kurain. Despite your mother's opposition, you stood your ground. In doing so, you fulfilled your duty as a royal priestess. I feel like maybe we are getting close to the end. I don't know. Hard to tell. It was all thanks to you and your friends. Your belief in me gave me the courage to follow my path. So you have my gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. You know, I shall thank you with a gift. What would you like? A cow, a horse? Thus I shall reward your efforts with a royal shoulder massage. Oh, that's okay, your benevolence. Your gratitude is more than enough. Thanks. I thought you Americans liked the massages. My technique is highly praised by my father, I'll have you know. Hey you, lawyers, where's the accused? Huh, Dirk? How would we know? That's a good question. I mean, it's not our job to be in charge of him. That's your guys' job. Hello. I blew it big time, AJ. Shut up, you. What's going on? The scoundrel tried to escape with the accused. What? We were able to nab him, but the accused is nowhere to be found. Where are you hiding him, you miscreant? I keep telling you, I got no idea where he went. I mean, yeah, we booked it together, but lost track of him after that. Dirk's on the lam now? Probably, but who knows? He vanished in the blink of an eye. Vanished? You wanna know something, AJ? Dirk said to me, I can't put Amara in danger. Right. Alright, that's really, that helps it more than anything, because he doesn't want to. Oh man, that means he doesn't believe in us though. Because like, okay, if it's Amara channeling him, he doesn't want to get executed because that'd kill Amara too. That explains it. But the only way he gets executed is if he doesn't believe in us, man. I have to set her free before it's too late. What? Don't tell me he's going to rescue her. That's what I am telling you. That's why I helped him escape in the first place. Dad, so you realize what you've done? Well, what's done is done. So why did you choose to go rescue her now? Maybe he didn't want to die with any regrets or something. You know, just in case they ended up on the chopping block. Why, Dirk? That you believed in me. Now, don't be like that, AJ. He'll be back as soon as he frees Amara. You'll see. No, it's weird though. I gotta think of a reason why you would need to free Amara, even though we're gonna prove him innocent. Maybe Amara's behind it all? I don't think so, though. I don't know. Here's Amara, you'll see. That's not the point, Dats. Listen, Lloyd, you let us know immediately if the accused contacts you. The trial will now resume. See that you're ready. Wait, the trial's still on, even without the defendant? Those were our Eminence's orders. You will return to the courtroom at once. Let's go, Apollo. All we can do is see where the next testimony leads. May 19th, High Court of Crime. There you go. All right, but I'm still going back and forth on it. I think we're gonna stop. I feel like there's enough that we can probably do in this session. Like, it's gonna go on longer than I'm not gonna be able to finish today. And if I go for like another 2 or 3 hours, maybe, I feel like I'm still not gonna be done. But I might end. Like, if I start up next session, I might end within another hour. But I think I'm gonna stop here. Oh my God, I'm still undecided. Oh man, no. Well, let's stop here. Let's stop. Well, oh God, it's so hard. It's so hard to choose. No, I'll stop here for now. I'm just gonna do it. So thank you all for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, to continue the trial. So if you want to watch live, come back then. But otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Bye.